And welcome back, episode 30. Can you believe it? Oh my god. I am the DM, Jasilionis. Hello. Let me have the players say hello to them for themselves.
Hello, my name is Hunter. We are playing Morgen Megen tonight.
Hi, my name is Aaron, and I'm playing Monks tonight.
This is Matt, and I'm going to be playing Saeryn Conundrum tonight.
And I am Ray, and I'm playing Ludo.
Excellent. And we are jumping right back into the swing of things, catching up where we left off. Let me get my pages all up in order and go with the recap. The party had returned from back to Ank'Rel after going on a side quest out into the desert in a hunt for a blue dragon. In that time, instead, they ended up rescuing a baby dragon wormling and returned it to its mother, a corrupted adult blue dragon named Fulgura, who told the party of their haunting dreams and of the cursed red moon and how some creature had come down and diseased it, chased it out of its lair. And it asked this party to go and find its lair and slay that beast. This was on the group's mind as they headed back to the city, and through tying up a few loose ends and making sure that no one could implicate them in the murders that they had done while out in the desert. Saeryn, after a little bit of fandangling, found himself alone and pulled into a trap by his best friend Dio, the Tabaxi thief/assassin. He was now captured by Hythanos, the evil noble from Bazzoxan that had connections to Torog, the Crawling King, and Saeryn was separated from the rest of the party and in a dire situation. That was where we started the episode. Across town, Ludo, Morgen, and Mox were still at the Debt's Respite, eating slop and arm wrestling with some raucous dwarves who had entered into the bar and raged on about rock and stone and dwarven axes, dwarven might. Many shenanigans followed, but eventually the party was pointed towards the Sigil District, with a large fat tabaxi being spotted by the Boulder Breakers just a while before that. Feeling uneasy about Saeryn's absence, they left out to go find their satyr companion. Some random honker of wares tried to scam the party in their search, only to be intimidated into telling them about how they had saw a satyr traveling with a tabaxi going through not too long ago. And the party rushed on, with Ludo throwing his divine sense ahead of him and feeling a fiendish presence from within the building. And then they entered like a wrecking ball. During that time, Saeryn was waiting to be rescued. Hythanos had wanted to play a little game with the satyr, poisoning with a truth serum wine and trying to gamble with the Feyborn in a game of secrets and questions, clearly in search of some knowledge that Saeryn possessed surrounding the mystery of Ruidium, Elixion, and the sunken ruins that were hidden beneath the city of Ank'Rel. However, the clever wizard outwitted the pompous noble, angering him and turning the game of luck around on Hythanos, prompting the drow to cut the game short and attempt to have Dio torture it out of him instead. This led to Saeryn dispelling the mind control magic he noticed that Dio had placed upon him, and the battle began. Saeryn had to fight the noble off, surviving with Dio until the party arrived, with them busting in Kool-Aid Man style through the wall, only for Saeryn to throw a bead of fireball, and he came in like a fireball, a saucy impling, when 3 6s were rolled for damage. Saeryn and his steel defender, however, were quickly dispatched, and the raging fires very fastly doused, letting the party to comfortably loot the room. Dipping back to the first Eclipse and setting up a later meetup / drop-off spot with Dio for any future communications, the team decided it was time to rest for the night and identify all of their treasures, making plans for heading south into the desert in search of the lair of Fulgura, trying to avoid any discussions with Aloysia and the rest of the consortium of Vermilion Dreams for now. To recap the loot that was found, there was gloves of thieving, a breastplate of balance, a spell bottle, a headband of intellect, a staff of ivory, a bag of folding, and a bead of fireball. Also, I think I had said it when I was accidentally muted, there was also a +1 rapier found amongst the loot.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, that was probably when I was muted. I was listening back. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember saying that, and then it was never mentioned again because I'm a dum dum. So someone write down a +1 rapier. Would like that. We can cover that in a moment.
Shove it in the bag of folding.
Exactly. They had also found on Saeryn 25 platinum and were given an extra 100 gold pieces by Dio for all of the hassle. Also, the whole steel defender and a bunch of tinkering equipment was found within the bag of folding. And while trying to pry some of those red crystals out of the steel defender, Mox noticed a small red rash spreading where he had handled the ruidium crystals. I have here in parentheses, it says, insert joke of a third character joining the party while Mox goes and finds a cure, ?
No kidding. Maybe.
Also, some more juicy stuff. Morgen had found some documents containing all sorts of dirt, drama, and hot tea. Mostly, Tenarian's research notes talks about ruidium, the creation of living weapons, trying to create the arms of betrayers, some notes about stuff he had done in Bazan, trying the connections between this, the Sunken City, what they might be up to, and then there's a few mentions of the notes about the rivals, but it keeps using the name Ular instead, Ulaar, in place of the Waste Walker. So that's with the papers. It would be any, once you have time to look through, you'd be able to help me, let me know what you would be specifically looking for, or you can take a long, dedicated period of time to get a very comprehensive list of that. And with that, I believe you all were resting up for the night, possibly doing a long rest, try and just sleep till morning.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I would like that, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you had all given extra gold for silence and to not be hassled during the time. Satchrak, the blue dragonborn bartender, had at least said, hey, no one outside of the organization will know that you're here. However, Aloysia, the leaders, Eridrine the owl, and others, they'll need to know, of course. But that is where you all left off, and if you are all having any sleep or any conversations before bed, or if you just want to go right through till morning.
I think maybe just a little bit of a reflection and a prayer from Ludo that we were able to find Arlo and rescue him. So I think just thanking the Changebringer, Avandra, and resting his hand upon Arlo's shoulder, saying a prayer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I was saving Saeryn, you had muttered a prayer to the Changebringer at one point during that whole ordeal, and you had called upon that luck surge.
Yeah, had to ask for a big bend on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I think it was probably the right choice, but I think he's really thinking and contemplating how he was able to kind of bend that and pull it off, and he's going to be thinking about, he'll probably have a dream tonight about the dice rattling around and how maybe he can roll them to get kind of a favorite number to show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll see at the end of that, Dio had given you back your lucky die that you noticed he had somehow lifted it from you at one point. You don't even know when.
Yeah, Dio. We can.
Excellent. Anyone else activities before evening?
No, I don't think Mox has anything really going on.
Excellent.
Yeah, Morgan's good to skip to the next.
Oh yeah, I will ask. As Saeryn mentioned, he'd probably be having some dreams. Would anyone else have any dreams that they think would take prominence in their head this evening?
I think Ludo would probably just have his recurring dream of when the Drow murdered all those people and he felt powerless. But each time he has this dream, there's something goes a little bit better for him. Like he still fails at this point, but yeah, the other members of the party start appearing in the dream and helping out and kind of pushing the tide the other way.
Excellent. Does everyone see this scene change? Burning.
Yep.
And I will say, all of you, I think at one point you have a memory of this dream at one point throughout the night, as all of you flash, work in tandem. You're running through this burning village. You can taste the acrid smoke in the air. You're coughing. It's hot. The heat is just burning. You're feeling sweat, or is that blood dripping everywhere off of you? Is it your blood? Is it others? But you, at one point, you all find each other in the middle of like a center clearing. And then I think you all go your own separate ways after that.
I'd like to think Morgan's dream kind of evolves into a bit of a dark and dreary version of this, as she kind of connects her, mind and spirit to the thoughts of Torog, the Crawling King, and perhaps the relationships that the Tenaran, the Hythanos guy had with him, and kind of looking at it from like a fate perspective too. She's meant to see him at some point, and a striking fear comes upon her in the dream before she eventually wakes.
Yeah, you all. Anyone else have any dreams that change? Not, you all wake up fresh in the morning, are able to kind of take some time. You won't be in this main room, however it looks on the map. You're off somewhere in like the back where they have extra beds and stuff. I think you might all notice a little bit of sweat on Morgan's, it's a little bit of perspirant.
She's like desperately trying to take a cloth and just like wipe the sweat off the brow and, make herself a little more presentable during the day as well.
Moxon's walking out, sort of just looking around, and then you see him itching his hand a lot, where that red spot is. It's sort of, bugging a little bit that it kept popped up, and he's just sort of trying to shake his hand out. Something's quite not right, and he's just trying to figure it out. He's not that smart, but he's trying to bug. It's just bugging him at this point. And he sits down and orders some food, and just sort of looks at you guys. Did you have a rough night? Looks over at Morgen.
Oh, just the hunting nightmares. It's all.
Might have come and gone, but I slept pretty good except for this weird one about a city burning. And not my city too. It was odd. He goes back again to you seem digging at his hand more.
My dream started off with a burning city as well. In fact, you were in there. But it quickly divulged into seeing or at least maybe an avatar or vision of Torog, the Crawling King. And honestly, I can say that I'm quite terrified. He's got, this absolute darkness about him, in not only a spiritual sense, but kind of felt physically as well. I can't stop shaking the words of his tenants. They keep on coming to mind, haunting me in my dreams.
Mhm. And
Mox really doesn't know who Torog is. He just sort of like looks at you and, you know, sort of just like listens in quietly.
Enough of this despairing talk. Let us find the others, shall we?
reminder of Torog, the symbol. Did that pop up for people?
Yep.
Excellent. And the commandments of Torog: seek and exalt places where no light touches, revel in the pain you inflict on others, and relish the pain you suffer yourself as an offering to Torog. Imprison those who cannot resist you, and drag all life into the darkness.
Very uplifting.
Yeah. Some great vibes, honestly.
No, I've never heard of Torog. I've heard of there was this one big dragon. It's Trogdor, the Burninator, but I've never heard of Torog. That's a different creature, I think.
Do you think Trogdor is the one responsible for burning that village?
Well, he is the Burninator. I think it might be similar. There's a very specific group of people that get this reference,
Mhm.
and I don't know if any of you are.
Hey,
them.
just saying. That's
Did he
canon.
perhaps burninate the countryside?
He burninating the village.
Yes,
It's, I believe that's part of it.
I believe it's part of it, yeah.
the straw that's the villages. Straw that's the Okay.
It does not surprise me that most of you guys know this.
But the village was saved by this squad of teen girls. Teen girl squad.
Just saying, this is canon now, so anytime anyone wants to go play Trogdor, that's gonna be a fucking CR25.
You're welcome, Matt Mercer, for Trogdor the Burninator and Critical Role now.
Love it.
I'm gonna do some real quick housekeeping.
Somehow saved us from the downbeat of Torog.
Oh, do we need to roll a hit dice? Or for
Yes, people. Oh my god, I forgot. At the end of last session, the team leveled up to level 8. Ah, fanfare. So everyone gets to roll their hit dice for the level up, and then I'll have y'all go through and let us know what you chose for your level ups. Level 8 is big ASI or feat. And somehow, some people might have multi-classing. I don't know. I didn't look.
I'm also carrying around plate armor for some reason, so if anyone wants to take that off my hands, it's heavy.
I don't even know if I should look. I could use an AC boost. Ooh, heavy armor.
Yeah, because I've got the plate and I've got that breastplate of balance, which
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone wants to use that.
Morgen, 10
We'll talk in a minute.
HP. What does that bring your total to?
Morgan.
That brings Morgan's total HP to 79.
Oh,
Guess I could just roll
Pretty
hit
good.
dice. Short rest.
Yeah, anyone who wants to go next? Love it.
Let me see if this actually rolls. Will you roll on the screen and do the right thing? 10. Did I roll it?
8 plus 2, yeah.
I got a 1.
8 plus 2.
Jeepers creepers.
Nice. What does that bring your total to?
76. Not great, but alright, cool.
Yeah. Alright, and then awesome. Saeryn rolled for the magic missile wand, which perfect full charges. And then
Yeah,
we got
that's incredible. That's all of my luck for the. That's all of Matt's luck
yeah.
for the day.
You also got your portents to roll. And then
Oh
we
right.
still got
Here's a hit die.
yeah, we
real
do. Yeah,
quick.
hit dice first.
Hooray!
Nice. Do you add any bonus to that?
I have a con score, but I'm just increasing the rolled HP on by
Nice.
5.
Hell yeah. What does that bring you to? 61?
64 looks like.
64.
Oh no!
means my notes are wrong. All right, Ludo.
A big fat 4.
Yeah.
I got a rock.
And that brings you to
A 79.
nice.
Why is Arlo poisoned?
I got poisoned in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which I forgot. All your skill checks and attack rolls were supposed to be disadvantaged, and I totally forgot that I poisoned you beginning before that happened.
I also did not remember, but I believe almost everything I did was saves.
Yeah, most of these things. And then the wand of magic missiles also crit failed anyway, so.
Yeah, so we could have gotten an extra crit fail.
Mm-hmm. 2 blow-ups. Hell yeah, and then we still have portents, and then yeah, you see Jacqueline, he like puffs out his chest and he's like, you know, looking a little stronger too. Looking at next to you, Morgan. He's just like,
Oh,
fucking swole.
How is my little battle-hardened bird these days? Doing well.
Yeah, fucking like I'm ready. Whatever you need, let me at.
You've been flexing those
Sure.
pecs, have you?
Yeah, I'm gonna peck him. You see, he's looking like, you know, this familiar's gone through some shit. I will say at this point, Jacqueline can have max HP from his hit die whenever he's summoned out.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the bird's been through some shit. You feel as like that growing bond between the connection with like your verdant tome, and that's like, just like helping making that magic even stronger, and you definitely feel like a warmth from the jewel that's around your neck. It's gonna have more HP than Trinket. I will say, I am glad that some things never change with Facemess, you know? That was, yeah, perfect. All right, you guys have any other housekeeping you need? Any items to disperse? You were told about the forge yesterday, the potential shop. And if there's any research or notes that you guys want to go do about anything, you know, you got the whole town of Ankarel. Whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go.
So it's safe to hit long rest then.
Yes, everyone can safely hit the long rest, and we'll say it brings you up to about like probably 8 in the morning. I'll say even like Morgan, you noticed with like your dreams, you slept in a little bit later than like you're tranced a little bit longer than normal.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
for some distribution, Mox, Mox, do you want the headband of intellect?
Yeah, I think I'll take that to help me out a little bit.
All right, pull out the bag of unfold the bag of folding.
Yeah, 4 quick folds on the red handkerchief, and like you're still like waiting. No voice, nothing comes.
Sadness. Yeah, just open that up, reach in. It'd be an intellect for you.
Oh, thank you.
Add that
What
to your
happens
sheet. I'm removing it from mine.
Okay. What happens if the bag of folding only talks to the bag of scolding? In the bag of scolding set, and you just start hearing one side of the conversation they're having, like we're hearing the one side of the conversation you're having.
At that point, I do believe that Saeryn would actually go insane. All right, and steer for the ivory claw I got here. Any takers?
Might I hold on to that one for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the one you add extra damage when you roll a critical with a spell attack.
Yeah, and it's a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls, and if you do a critical hit, the target takes extra 3d6 radiant damage.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
So I am removing that from my sheet. Please add it to yours. All right, and oh god, you got a breastplate of balance. Anybody interested in the breastplate of balance?
I was reading that, and that's a freaking cool piece of armor, but I just ate up my last attunement slot with freaking headband of intellect.
Mm-hmm.
It is a cool, like, it's a cool piece of armor, especially for like healers.
Yeah, because what are you all attuned to? The gun you had to attune to, because it's basically a yeah.
2 guns and a head.
The second gun you shouldn't need to attune to, because it's just like a because that's just a weapon you created, so it's like not even a magical weapon.
For some reason I had a attunement slot.
It probably like auto whatever when you
Okay.
created an
Okay, I'll
item,
pick that
because
up.
because it's technically not a magical item.
Cool, I just took that up. So, did you have other armor, Arlo? Or was it?
I've also got plate, regular standard plate.
Does anybody else want that armor? That actually, let me look what armor I got. What do I got for armor?
Oh yeah. This is D&D, baby. Inventory, attunement slots. You were here for. This is the nitty gritty.
This is what everyone wanted to hear.
This is what we're here. Like, okay, that's my favorite thing is knowing what items the people I'm watching in D&D have that they're not using.
Oh god, I died.
that is
Ludo.
my favorite thing in Critical Role. Sorry.
Ludo wants that plate mail, but he wants to get the symbol off of it.
The breastplate or the
No, the full plate.
full plate?
Oh yeah, the plate I have has something. I forget the. It's probably I have a note on it somewhere, but you can have it. You can just carry it.
Yeah, you got it off the
I'm
Dwendalian,
tired.
but yeah, you're basically like, oh, this was probably going to be recognized when we get back into the city by someone,
Yeah.
possibly. So that was the why you guys held up on using it right away.
We can take it. We can take it to the to one of the armorers and have them just bang this thing out, and then you can hear it.
Do you think that's smart to do here in town? Do you think anybody would question it? Well,
I'm gonna. Do we
Always
get
try to
screwed on
bribe
this
them.
too? We can wait until we get to some other city. It's not a problem. It's just it hangs out in the bag of holding.
well, I say we just try the forge.
I feel like if we spend a little gold, he'll basically do what we want.
I think so.
All right. We'll figure that out. And while we're figuring out the breastplate of balance, would anybody like to hold on to a spell bottle?
Spell bottle.
Would anyone?
Just that-
I guess it's 2 questions really. Would anyone want a spell put in the bottle for them to use at some point, or do you want to keep it empty and then you can keep a spell in it?
I feel as though I can generate enough spells for myself, but if you'd like me to fill it with some magic, I'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, we could either do that, or we could keep it empty and then use it like a counter spell.
Perhaps you should hold on to it for now, and if we decide we need otherwise, we can change course.
All right, I'll hold on to the spell bottle. Anyone want a rapier? It's real sharp. You might see it's magically sharp.
Yeah, we'll say you found that in the as it fell out of the bag of holding when you opened. You're like, oh yeah, there's a sword. Retcon.
Recon. So here's a question, Jack. Maybe you can answer it, or
Mhm.
someone else smarter than me at this point. If I have a +5 dex bonus. If I put the breastplate of balance on, it takes it down to a 2. It says dex bonus +2 to max. So if I wear some reason, my character sheet must be messed up. Because for some reason, if I wear leather armor, I'm at 16. If I wear this half plate or this breastplate,
What's your strength?
is that what I'm strength? That's what it is. It's the strength.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think that might have a strength requirement or something, maybe.
It doesn't state it.
Heavy armor has the heavy plate has a strength requirement of 15.
This is a medium.
Yeah, medium shouldn't have a strength requirement, but
Yeah.
it will. You won't be able to use more than +2 from your dex.
It's a bonus. That's what's doing it. So funny, if I wear this plate armor,
You're
I'd be
easier
at
to
the
hit.
Same exact same. No, it's the exact same AC if I wear leather armor. The exact same AC.
You mean the breastplate of balance?
Yeah. So if I wear the breastplate of balance, I have the exact same armor class if I wear leather armor.
But you also get all the little bunny fits.
Yeah, I know. There's little cool things to it that I like that I will forget to use every time. I'll keep a hold of it for now. It might, unless we want to sell it. I mean,
Yeah.
we can always try to scab it out.
Yeah. Do you want to add it to your inventory?
I have it on my inventory.
All right.
Okay, cool. I'm removing it from mine.
Will you tune to it during this time?
I think I will for the moment. Yeah, that and the headband.
All right. But you won't be wearing it, but you'll be attuned to it.
Oh, the armor?
Yeah.
I might put it on for a little bit.
Okay.
It's one of those things. I'm like, I'm gonna try this thing on.
Yeah,
I'll
because
probably put it on.
basically I just want to make sure if all right, who's attuning to stuff that way, if it gets swapped around, if people need to take the time to make sure it gets blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'll probably put that and the headband on. So at this point, it looks like I don't know how the headband looks, but this party looks like gears on his chest because I love the statement of this thing. This brownish copper breastplate looks like if it were made of interlocking gears.
Mhm.
Scales are embossed across his chest.
Mhm.
Piece of armor.
And then you also have this gilded headband with all this fancy decorative work on it. But you feel a lot smarter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a bunch smarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just before I forget, what were the feats everyone took or stat improvements for the level up?
Morgan did take her 8th level into Cleric, and she took as her feat Meta Magic Adept.
Ooh.
Mox, well, go ahead. You say something, Jack.
I was just
I
hell
was just
yeah.
going to say the 2 things I picked up were Quickened Spell and Extended Spell.
Damn. That's actually fucking brutal with your class. That's so fucking brutal. Holy shit.
That's gonna be fun. Mox did take a feat, and he took the archery for +2 in ranged attacks. So at this point, his main weapon Malice does +13 to hit.
Hell yeah. Saeryn?
Oh.
Saeryn had a dream last night. He kept rolling dice, and they kept coming up. All 6s, then all 8s, and then all 10s, 12s, and finally he was rolling 20-sided die. And they all kept getting 20s. And then he was rolling, and he saw it was about to land on a 1. And then he went, no, and it switched to a 20. I took the lucky feat.
Yeah! Fuck
Because I
yeah!
thought you were having it too easy.
Also, I think you said, I rolled 3 nat 1s, never again. Which is now the best possible thing with the combination of the fucking Wand of Dark Magic missiles. Because, yeah, you have to roll multiple nat 1s now for that to ever blow up in your face again.
I took the most overpowered feat purely as a containment against one of my items, not even one of the attuned ones.
Oh, I fucking love it.
But yeah, also it's 8th level of wizard. Not a big shot there.
Mhm. And then Ludo.
Yeah, Ludo took his 8th level in Paladin, and I think as sort of canon, the rescuing of Arlo gave him the Fey Touched feat.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he gets
Yeah,
Misty
yeah.
Step and took Silvery Barbs.
Well, fuck me. Fuck me, I guess.
Jackson go. No, you're right. Delete that spell.
Oh my
This
god.
entire party is just telling the DM what he rolled.
Oh.
I can
And
hear
then,
him. I can hear him adding monsters to the next encounter.
And I will say, and immediately all
Copy paste.
adamantine ore has just evaporated off the face of Exandria.
Yeah, I also got a extra point in charisma with it.
Hell yeah. Paladin, charisma up. Does that increase your bonus?
I don't think it did, because it took it from 14 to 15.
Word. No worries.
Which is +2.
Well, you all feeling nice, refreshed. You swap some stories, you swap some items, you share your dreams. Saeryn is just sitting there rolling dice after dice after dice after dice. And it all comes up exactly how he wants it to. You just hear the dice rattling in your head, but for the first time ever, Saeryn, it's when you choose them to roll and when you choose them to stop.
Ooh. Thank you, Changebringer.
You all feel the blessings of your prayers as all of your vestiges seem to glow with, like, not a visible, but like a warmth that you all feel. Invigorated and refreshed, and with a path ahead of you. Time to go shopping?
Yeah, I think so.
Jeebers.
Let's go shopping.
Hell
Check
yeah.
out that forge.
Fuck yeah. For the first time ever, I actually don't have a scene for this. You all make your way up into an area that you've never really been before, the ridge. So bring you to the map of Ank'Harel. All of the locations marked, I hope. Excellent. So into the northwest side of the city, built up against where the mountains begin to grow, like almost as if this like little small cannon, and where the city is built upon. As you head up north out of, you would have been in the Suncut Bazaar. So it's a pretty quick walk, built partially into the side of the mountain that borders the north side of the district. The Sunfire Forge is the premier blacksmith and a weapons manufacturer in Ank'Harel. Its name comes from the forge's unique power source: liquid sunlight harvested from the iridescent crystals that line its roof. The consistent heat of this concentrated form of energy allows for the creation of fine metalwork that incorporates fragile components such as arcane materials and gem dust. Two glowing streams of sunfire cascade down the sides of the forge's pitched roof before coming to rest in stone reservoirs, where the liquid is stored before being funneled into the forge. Oh, you still seeing a nightmare?
Yeah, you haven't brought us over.
Why are you not over? I've been moving to
I thought
one
something
thing.
happened to Ank'Harel.
Oh no. We wake up to Trogdor the Burninator.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alright. It's just the map now. Sorry. Yeah, they don't provide a scene for this very hyper specific place. like there's really no generic artwork I can use for this. But it looks really fucking cool. And as you walk up, you see wonders, arcane metal craft, like all sorts of arrangements of armor, arcane accessories, whatever magical items, any spell components, gems of various sizes lined up between like different shelves and aisles. You see surrounding the market, there's like various pieces of like what would be like full suits of armor that are perhaps like on display. But even Saeryn, with your arcane knowledge, you can definitely identify those as unawakened, awakened suits of armor. And then you're looking and you see just various, all sorts of arcane traps, rune crafting, and spells, glyphs, and rugs of smothering hiding right below people's feet, like beneath where like all of the most expensive and prominent things are like openly displayed. And you realize that anyone who has been here knows better than to try anything.
Who told us about this place? Was it the crooked guy who was trying to sell us junk?
This one was from the dwarves, the boulder breakers you had met the night before.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And actually, probably time for a little bit more joyful music as you get shopping. Some humble wares. As you all walk up, the Sunfire Swords seems to be under control of Royhaya Tak, a half-elf. She has this like a little bit of like blonde hair, but it's kind of like half shaved on like the one side. Even for like a half elf, like pretty muscular features and very adept, like arcane, like they flow with the grace and finesse of someone who is an expert at their craft. And you walk up and she says, "Well, hello, nice to meet you."
Well, real quick, right before
Yeah.
we walk in, I want to use my channel divinity to use Emissary of Peace. Gives me a +5 bonus to charisma.
Hell yeah, you feel
Minutes.
that your medallion, your coin to the Avandra, the Changebringer, begin to glow with that radiance as you bless yourself with that divine blessing.
And then walk in and greet this half elf.
Mhm.
I just looked down and saw, same here. I was like, oh, Mox has that also, Emissary
Yeah,
of Peace.
I do. the gunslinger who likes to shoot things. Is Emissary of Peace.
Yeah. And,
Ludo's gonna walk in and greet
Yeah.
the half elf.
and actually,
Master.
I'm going to change her voice real quick. She says, "Oh, hello, darling. Nice to meet you.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the glorious Sunfire Forge. You're interested in any sort of work here?"
Actually, I am. I've heard rumors that this is the best place to get some work done on my armor, and I was actually wondering if you could help me out with this piece of armor that I found and would like to alter. And he pulls out the full plate,
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
sets it up on the counter.
Hell yeah, and you're able to pull it out. You didn't have it in the bag or anything. It was already given over. As you unfurl it from the cloth, go ahead, make that deception check.
You found it.
Just on someone's body.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Team +5, so 21.
Excellent. And she says, "Well, it does look a little scuffed up and worse for wear. Many sad suits of armor never find their owner again after nasty incidents, so I can understand that." And she like kind of seems to be like eyeing it up and down, and she like looks at you and looks at it. She's like, "Seems to be more built for a very stout, shorter person, I must say, like maybe a dwarf feature. I might need to stretch it out for you a little bit if that's all right."
That would be perfect. And actually, I also wondered if you are familiar with imbuing armor with any powers of the red horinculum.
She says, "Red horinculum. May have heard of that. Let me see that real quick."
Yeah, I think Ludo would pull it out.
Mhm.
Show.
And this is the red gem you got from the tunnel with that sleeping Baylor, right?
Yes.
From down in the Betrayer's Rise, the chamber before the final room. Yeah, and you see as you pull it out, it's still like kind of suffused with that warm elemental energy. And I will say, Saeryn, as Ludo pulls that out, like you feel the little fire gem, the one that has the captured like elemental essence, it just feels like it gets a little excited, feeling something of like a similar nature, nearby.
I'm gonna have to get this little guy a friend.
Rachel says, she looks up and down. She says, oh, if I didn't know better, I'd say that's infused with elements of the fire plane, if I'm not mistaken. Wherever did you find that?
Well, I think you would tell her where you found it.
In the
I think you would mention also that we encountered what was his name? Hold on, Jarrell, was that it?
Oh yeah.
The blacksmith, and just let her know that I recently encountered another blacksmith who seemed to think that he could use some red hericulum to buff up some armor.
Mhm.
However, I don't believe I have access to him at this point. So.
Yeah, you see, like when you say the name Jarrell, she kind of lights up and she says, "Life is pain." Oh,
life is pain.
that miserable old kook is still around, is he?
Oh, he is. He's a great fellow.
Very, very weird personality. But amazing blacksmith. I trained him for a little bit when he was a little younger. He's always known for his sunny disposition. Yes, elemental, yes, and she looks over at where like the Sunfire Forge, like that liquid sunlight that she uses, and like she says, yes, I could with very expedited work I could enchant this onto any armor, even that plate mail you're wanting, and I believe that could help her to give you resistance to fire. Make you more easily to survive in environments that are high in heat. If you plan on jumping in any lakes of fire or lava anytime soon, I suppose.
Well, I don't plan on jumping in any, but I don't know if anybody else has plans on throwing me in any.
Such is the nature of this world, and she kind of gives a little wink over at the wizard behind you.
So, how much would your work cost?
With that, since you already provided the material, I suppose maybe about 200 gold pieces?
Consider it done.
Yes, would you be interested in anything else? I mean, I could also put this on a weapon. I can enchant it with fire damage. And you see she like starts getting a little bit excited. She says, yes, this would be like used to make like a flame tongue type weapon device. Or I've heard of braziers that can help capture fire elementals. This could help bait that into them. Oh, there's so many possibilities.
Didn't even think of that. Above table, does anybody have any cool ideas?
Not offhand.
No. Mox now has an idea what he can do later on, but no.
Mm-hmm.
You see him like perk up when he's talking about it, and like his eyes sort of flash a little bit. I'm like, oh, that would be a good idea. Put this on a weapon somehow. Interesting.
I don't know that it really fits on the silver like spear. I don't know that I want that to be altered.
Yeah, and mostly like Ardian magical items aren't able to be enchanted with like another magical. Like sometimes things are like a +1 could be like imbued with a higher thing, but yeah.
Sure. What about the shield? My shield.
That one's is that the shield of expression?
I don't know. Yes.
actually will allow. Like, I think that can be fire resistance because I think that's funny.
I mean,
It's
I don't know.
the shield of expression is going to turn into a face of looking like it's always a face of someone who's on fire. That is what the face would look like.
Oh, man.
Or maybe like a. I was thinking more like a fire genasi, but no, just a burning face.
Yeah, just a screaming face on a shield, like ah. But yeah, any regular armor. 'Cause yeah, you already have the shield. But yeah, she looks at it. She says, "It might take a little bit more work. I'd entwining enchantments. That shield. It looks like that's like a minor enchantment. So that shouldn't be too much fuss. Anything more major is more harder to work with. But I think I could entwine that somehow, and not. I promise not to make it hideous, darling."
Well, as long as it gets the job done.
Yeah. Although that might require a little bit more work. Let me. It might be like up to 250 gold if that's not too much bother.
I could swing that.
Actually, and then what
That's a
about
fair price.
the rest of you all? Anyone looking for anything? I have all sorts of enchanted armors for higher defense, lucky stones. I have javelins that can toss and turn into bolts of lightning. I have all sorts of any weapons that you're looking for. I could run you through some of my specialties even.
Well, I would be interested in hearing some of the additional specialties.
Yes. What type of effect might you be looking for, or what? I don't mean to be too gauche, but what is your price range, darlings? Also, I can do trades.
Sounds like Ludo wants to spend money, so Ludo, what are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, it does no good sitting in inventory, so why not? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if you had something that would boost my strength or my charisma. I'm just gonna name off stats off my head.
Well, I dare say.
Can you make me armor that will increase my riz?
Actually, they do make these items called Ioun stones that are enchanted that can help invigorate. Those are my more lesser level. There's actually your Tabaxi, your cat friend over there, has a beautiful example of other items. Certain items that can boost certain stats, let's say, to put it in layman's terms. That is a headband of intelligence.
My nose is bleeding.
Ah!
Everybody's ears go a little fuzzy.
Yeah. Brain.
This does bring up like a really I just had this thought. Ion, from Ion stones.
Yeah.
Isn't he the god of knowledge?
Yes.
And he's from the pantheon that Exandria uses, but Critical Role doesn't use those names anymore. I'm guessing for copyright reasons.
Yeah.
I think so.
So are there Ion stones?
Yes, they are. They're called Ion stones. Sorry.
Ion.
Ion.
Yeah, it's just like a accent type thing. I'm sorry, regional.
There's an umlaut.
Missing
over it.
electrons.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, look, it orbits
Positive,
around
negative
like
ion.
an ion. Yeah, that's
you don't want to get two of them
nailed it.
together.
Nailed it. Nosebleed. Yeah, I guess those are Allfather stones.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever the knowledge haver.
It's so hard.
What's his name now? They just whatever.
Yeah.
Getting in the weeds here.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
it occurred to me, and I was like, "Huh, that's kind of weird."
yeah. Oh no, that's like the one guy I don't have in my thing. Wait, The Cobalt
the one
Soul.
that gave Exandria, the one that gave Exandria magic. It was he.
That's Corellon, our cart. Yeah.
Corellon, your chart.
Yeah.
Wh-
That's the art.
which, like,
That's god of like beauty and magic.
or is it, like Corellon stones. I don't know.
Yeah.
War stones.
Oh yeah. Well, these magic items can help boost certain things, but there's others like there's gauntlets that can increase your strength. I believe that. Fuck, what is the next one? There's one for Constitution as well. But there's one that can make you more stalwart. Although those items are far more expensive.
What is expensive?
I think for the stones, those usually run about 2,000 gold pieces. Yeah, mentor stones.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, mentor stones. How could we forget that? Everyone knows what those are. Just all gaslight ourselves.
Yeah. At this point, Mox is sort of like he looks over and like he sees like a little box of scrap, like it's a metal shop. There's scrap somewhere, and he's starting to go through the scrap pile. He's like, what can I find now?
Yeah, let me know if there's anything that interests you. Anyone else looking for anything?
He sees a little piece of like some pieces of rolled metal. He's like eyeing them up. You see him like picking them up and like looking through them and seeing if he can like how well he can bend them. And he just comes out with this handful of just partially rolled. You know how they roll metal on. Oh crap! There's a tool for that. I can't think of it right now. But he like takes these little pieces of like rolled metal. He's like, how much for the this here?
Scrap metal. That'll just be like a gold piece or two. Depends on how much you're looking for. If you're looking for any like specialty links or what type of alloy specifically? I have one that's more steel with a higher iron balance, and then I have one that's a little bit more folded steel, and that will be a little bit more expensive. I have some that's she just starts kind of listing off a bunch of different alloys. And
he's starting to understand. He understands them now. at intelligence 19, he actually understands the values, the property values. He's like, really, it's just I just need to be able to handle rapid heat increase, but it could just be a normal, maybe a heat treated steel is fine, which is basically all you do here.
Yeah. Have you ever considered a copper coil maybe around the part to help with the heat desinking?
Well, that would do real well because of the rapid expansion of gases. That
yes, no, you are correct there.
And he changes the subject after he realizes he's getting into something that's like very specific for only a few people to know. He's like, the rapid gas expansion would no, that's just too soft of a metal. More of a steel or a dropped forged steel or anything around those lines. These should work fine. Just the right weight, right thickness. The gauge is about proper.
Yeah, for you, let's just say 1 gold piece.
Oh, excellent. I'll just take that. He's looking to make more rounds.
Excellent.
Some more interesting rounds, I think.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about later on. We'll roll for later. He wants to make armor-piercing rounds. Is what he wants to do, or like a siege round. He's gonna find new fun ways to use his weapons.
Yeah. See what
Going through my inventory to see what I can offer in trade. I have a Githka.
Do you need? What are you looking for? Do you need money?
Well, I'm trying to negotiate here. I have about 1,800 gold total, and I want to see if I can.
Good Lord.
I haven't been spending anything.
You guys have never gone shopping.
Yeah. I mean, I have. I buy Tinker's stuff though.
I think I got some baklava one time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have this Githka, and I have there's something else here. A Chakcha. I don't even know why I have this
I
stuff.
say I would probably be more only interested in magical items to be able to like grab any enchantments off of and any study in composition of materials. But anything you all have or any interesting materials like any ores or metals, I'm always looking for like mithril, adamantium, gems, crystals. love where your head's going with that.
I thought about that. Just a
She
few
says,
seconds ago.
"Here I have this this belt of dwarven kind. Helps you make you a little bit more stout, your higher constitution, if you will. And if you ever wanted to grow a beard."
Ludo rubs his chin.
Yeah, it gives you abilities that a dwarf would have. Here is this belt of giant strength. I'd say this one's probably going to be more like 4,000 gold pieces worth.
Do you do credit?
Is there a layaway policy?
Unfortunately, adventurers tend to not. They usually don't return, and that's
Yes, survival rates are very,
Yeah.
very low.
All right. You said there's the belt, and then did you say gauntlets too?
Yeah, there's gauntlets as well. Then there's like she just says, "I can give you one of those mentor stones for any any type of feature that you might be looking for." And then she's like looking back over at Morgan, says, "Would you be interested in anything?" She says, "I have a broom of flying right here."
Oh, okay. I
I mean-
don't know if I'm quite
Full witch. Full
rich
witch.
enough to purchase an item such. However, do you carry maybe material components for spellcasting?
Oh yes, all sorts. What do you need? Any sort of powders, herbs, gems? I can do any various dusts or crystals. I have a demon's eye encased in a vial.
I need some powdered diamond.
I have as much as you would require.
Specifically in the whereabouts of the 200 gold piece range.
Easy enough, yeah. And then would this all be in like a batch deal for all of you?
I'll pay mine separately, thank you. And I put the gold piece down and walk away.
Metal. She says, "Yeah, I could do that. We could just do that right now, real fast."
Absolutely, I would love to. And I'd put 200 gold pieces on the table for.
Mm-hmm. All right, and
Guys, if we do a batch deal, we might be able to negotiate. I'm trying to get my stuff cheaper.
mhm. And like I said, any sort of items that you have that you don't need to you want to trade in for, any sort of ores or gems that you have, and she's still looking at that thing, and she's like, I still want to do work with that crystal. That is very fantastic looking.
The Horinculum.
Mm-hmm.
I do have listed. This is kind of weird. I have listed on my other possessions in my inventory, artificer junk. I think that was stuff that was in the bag of folding that
Mm-hmm.
I think I
took from Hythenos. But I figured you're probably going to want to use that, right, Mox?
I think I have it on my list, the automaton parts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to remove. I'll pull out the remaining artificer junk and try to sell it.
Mm-hmm. She says, yeah, there's some like arcane crystals, some broomstone, something definitely has a core component of residuum to power like this piece, and she pulls out some like mechanical whirring that has like a green glow to it. These are very fine wires and optics. I could probably do like 100 gold pieces for the scrap in the spinny whirring thing here.
I don't know. Residuum is really hard to come by. You sure you can't do me a little bit better on the net?
I mean, it is to be able to get it out is going to require pretty much the precision that only a fine forge like myself could use. So to most other people, this wouldn't be worth as much.
But we are bringing you a lot of business. I'm considering spending pretty much all of my gold here if I can make a deal with you. So.
She seems to ponder, and You definitely notice anyone with like a decent insight. She is a very shrewd businesswoman, and definitely she's angling for like the best deals for herself. And she says, "Why don't you make a persuasion check with advantage, Ludo?"
All right. And this has a +5 on it. Also.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, I forgot he has that. 21.
Excellent. She says, I will say this is a little bit more business than I usually get, especially so early in the morning. Where, may I say, are you all headed somewhere?
Everyone's headed somewhere, babe.
She gives you like a little wink back.
Was there finger guns in there? Because I heard finger guns.
Yes, there were. How did you know? Are you watching me?
100% felt the finger guns.
It was a tone of the voice. I heard finger guns.
And she says, I think, I could probably work out a little bit of a deal. Let's say 150 gold pieces for all the components and artificer scraps there.
Well, deal's a deal.
Excellent.
And I'll sell that random junk so I don't have to carry it.
Beautiful.
I don't have to carry it in my magical bag that doesn't count.
Excellent.
It's more the tracking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like having a bag of holding, you have to know what's in it.
Yeah.
So like having to have an inventory of it is just like that's I could use that for spells.
And she looks at you, Ludo, and she says, how much money do you have exactly?
I have. He pulls out a sack of coins.
Don't tell her. Don't give her the actual number, Ludo. Don't give her the actual. I'm looking right at her. I'm like, don't give her the actual number. We have enough gold to spend. That's all you need to know.
Okay, now I'm just house cleaning. Saeryn is like shoulder deep in his bag of holding. I'm sure the bag of scolding is pissed at me right now.
You turn it inside out and just start shaking.
Whoa.
Hold on, I'm getting something. It's at the very bottom.
Hey, you
get it.
Hey, you need to ask first, and you need to go on a date.
Give me the silver ore, you son of a gun.
Silver. Whoa.
I have listed in other possessions 300 gold pieces worth of silver ore. I just saw it right now. So I'm just like, I'm gonna pull all that out.
And she says, ooh, silver ore, and you all said you were in Bazazan before. Everyone knows that the metal from those mountains is very pure. Ludo explained.
Yeah, everyone knows that. That's why we have it.
Yeah, it's very, those mines don't get touched much with all the, monsters and beasts and demons that run around the land. So, that is very high demand silver, for sure. That is top purity.
Well, you want it?
Of course. What do you want?
Mox takes 50 gold of it and gives you 50 gold. It's like, no, I want this.
You want some of the silver too?
I do.
He's like, I'm a vampire hunter, and you're just telling me you have silver ore?
Yeah. You are just now telling me you have silver. I'm taking.
You're a vampire hunter?
I'm a monster hunter, man. I'm giving you 50 gold for at least 50 gold worth of silver ore.
I reach across the counter, grab like a hammer, and start banging on the ore. I don't know how to separate this.
Yeah, and she pulls out a scale, and she says, I can help you separate that if you need.
Yeah, let's separate this, and then you can have the rest.
Excellent. You see with like a finesse, she like takes the silver chunk and she walks it over to where that streamlight of like liquid sun is just pouring down. That's like just like condensed and like poured down in it. And she like with one smooth motion takes a part of the silver ore and runs it through that and like catches the piece that falls off and tosses that to Mox. And then she places the rest on the scale, and it's like an exact measurement of like what needed to be cut off.
Damn.
That'd be great to know. Last time I was making bullets.
Hey, I didn't know either. I've got a Luxon pamphlet. I think we got that from a troll.
I wasn't there for that one.
I've got something called Spider Queen Sigil with inlaid ruby, but I might want to identify that one. Again, this is just stuff that I wrote down and has not been available to me.
Mhm.
Like,
50 gold and silver ore. 50 gold is going to take me a while to get through at this point.
It's a lot of
that's
bullets.
it's a good amount, yeah.
But she says, yeah, I can give you 250 gold pieces for that. And she looks at Ludo and she says, so you're wanting that...
Saeryn, make sure you put 50 gold that I gave you in your... 'cause I gave
Oh,
you-
I did that first.
Okay, well, thank you.
she says, with some of that ore, I can give 200 gold pieces to you for the silver ore, and then use the rest of that debt to help pay off your paladin here.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. And Ludo, you were wanting the Menor Stone, something to boost your charisma.
Yep. Let's do that.
Awesome.
And then I have this amulet of the drunkard that I've used maybe once just because it was kind of cool in the moment.
This is turning more into a pawn shop.
I know, right?
Medieval
Yeah,
pawn
so-
shop.
Yeah, and you see she's like eyeing all these items, like almost with like that keen eye that like a hag would have for like artifacts, just because like this is what she trades and commerces in, and like what you're bringing her is more valuable than gold to her at the moment. She says,
So would you be interested in this amulet?
yes, I could do that in, were you still wanting to do the fire enchantment armor as well?
Yes, please.
Excellent. Yeah, I could, we'll call it, so out of, character, above table, how much gold did you have, Ludo? Sorry.
I have 1,800 and some change.
Okay. And with the amulet and the gold ore, she says, with your roll, I think I could do that with the armor enchantments. I'm going to be busy at the forge pulling the enchantments off many of these items anyway, so it'll be very easy, fast work. I can work the armor with the fire enchantment at the same time. So if you give me the amulet drunkard, the silver ore, and she gives Saeryn the 200 gold pieces for that, and then the rest of that chunk will help pay off Ludo, the amulet of the drunkard, and you can get the Menor Stone for charisma, or Ion Stone for inventory purposes, and you can add in a shield of fire resistance. And says, is that everyone satisfied? And anyone need any like enchantments to any other armor? I have cloaks that can help protect you more, or bands that make you a little faster on the reflex, above-board, whatever, plus AC bonus items are. Well,
Does anybody want this? Pulls out the rapier. Anybody want this one?
I'm okay, thank you.
No, I think we can maybe get rid of that one too.
yeah, I could trade that out for any other item that has a similar level enchantment. So if anyone wants any +1 item of any type, they can trade that for that.
I can't think of anything. I mean,
Mhm.
specifically.
I may perhaps want something like a mace to replace my old one.
Yeah.
Ooh, so you're like, yeah, I could trade that out for a mace, and she looks at you and she looks at a mace. She's like, give me 1 second, and she like takes it over to that liquid forge and runs it under the stream with like quick, delicate hands and does like some some etchings and carvings around it to give it like some look and definition. And you see just like spooky skeletal limbs of trees and like relief of like a full moon and just like a graveyard type scene, and there's like, you know, just all sorts of, you know, spooky skull type work all over it.
Oh no, this reminds me of home.
She says,
Feels nice.
"Are you sure I couldn't interest you in a broom of flying? Say just 500 gold pieces."
500, you say? Very well. It's yours. I'm gonna put the money on the counter. And then I'll look over to Arlo as well. And Arlo, do you have any other means of defending yourself other than your magics? Perhaps you want this dagger I've been carrying around with me. And I'd present to him the +1 dagger.
Ooh, fancy dagger. No, I basically have to, you know, cast things. So yeah, a little stick and poke thing might not be a bad move.
All right, it's removed from my inventory.
All right, adding a +1 dagger.
Excellent. And Morgan gets the
And I'm
+1
removing the
mace.
rapier.
Yeah. Morgan adds a +1 mace. And
What was the shield? Is it in there, or is it? Do I have to custom?
Yeah, and I'm buying that broom if it's 500.
Yeah.
How many does she have? Does she have 4 of them? Let's all buy one.
Well, I'm broke now.
The fire resistance might only be on armors now I'm thinking about it. So it might just have to be a custom one.
Alright.
Yeah. Or we could just say like she enchanted whatever armor you have if it's not magical. Whatever's easier works out better for you.
And then the Ioun stone, the only one I see with did you say it had a different name? I see leadership.
It'd probably be that, yeah, whatever sounds something for charisma, yeah. Yeah, if you look at it, it should tell you what stat it increases.
Yep. Sweet.
Alright. She says, if you come back in an hour, that the armor should be ready for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Excellent. And if anyone doesn't have anything else, I believe I have work to do. So you can all see yourselves out after that. Feeling nice shopping done. Does anyone have anything they want to do during that hour of time that you have between waiting for the armor to be ready?
I think after like this many hours of like scratch his hand, Mox is gonna go over to. He knows Morgen heals, so he's gonna go over to Morgen and be like, "Hey, this just popped up the other day. Does this look bad to you? It just really doesn't. It just feels weird." And he points at that red spot on his hand. It's like it just doesn't sit right.
She kind of
Anything like this?
blazes over it real quick, and I imagine she's fairly familiar with such things.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it on Aljin before he left. You've seen it on the various wild animals, and you realize, like, oh yeah, he handled those like red crystals yesterday, and this just showed up. Like, you're definitely able to like intuit that pretty easily.
You kind of see her face go from like a curious, overlook to a sort of a severe expression. She goes, "Oh my, this isn't good at all. I recall you were handling those red crystals, yes?"
Yeah, I still have a couple in my pouch right now, and he goes like to reach for it.
Oh no, do not touch them.
Okay. All right. What's up? What's up with it?
So this is. Oh, I don't exactly know how to rid oneself of this very powerful, very old kind of magic that seems to be connected to the war of the past here. Oh, well, we can
Seems-
try some healing at some point, but we definitely need to keep the infection from spreading.
Okay, it seems. I mean, right now it hasn't spread. It's just this little spot to my hand, and it's on his left hand, right behind his thumb. He's like, I don't know. It just seems real odd. It sort of itches and burns a little bit. I had this once a long time ago, and some medicine. I went to the doctor. Some medicine cleared it right up. Not in my hand though, weirdly enough. But I'm a little more concerned about it. Is there? I mean, I don't know much about magic. I know there's like restoration spells, and there's like other spells like that can heal. Is there anything that would take it off? You think?
Well, I was able to make a fairly effective vial of I guess a sort of antidote to it, but it took
So
the combined effort of 4 individuals and some materials that I don't have access to here.
So like an antidote. So like it's a poison, or is it something like that? Is it?
More of an infection than a poison, I suppose.
Okay. Now, do we know, Jack, above board? Do we know? Does the restoration spells clear this up? Have we tried anything like that? Was that?
You're uncertain if like a what would be like a lesser restoration spell, if that would be enough or not. It might need to be more concentrated ritual or combination of effects. Above a higher level greater restoration spell, you feel like would probably be strong enough to knock something like this out.
No, I just wondered.
Yeah.
I was just reading some equipment and was wondering.
Yep. But
well.
yeah, especially like it is fairly early on. Like you feel like it's this is just the initial contact of it. Like you definitely haven't felt like anything spread or anything.
Yeah. So then I'd be like, well, so far it seems to contained to my hand, and it just doesn't. It just feels funny. It sort of itches, sort of burns a little bit. It's sort of odd. Sort of almost like a weight. You know what I mean? Sort of like it's there, even when you're not looking at it.
Well, if it's not too much of a burden for now, we do need to get it taken care of at some point. I don't know if I can do anything about it myself, but I'm sure we can figure something out in time.
It's not a big deal at this point, I guess. At this point, and I mean, this is a big city. Maybe we can find something later on. I'm not. Again, Mox has like no real clue about it. He's probably seen some of these monsters with these markings, but never really he's not really like putting it together at this point. He's just like, okay, well, that's fine.
Say I didn't mention explicitly, but at the place there was also a bunch of spell scrolls and stuff. Just so.
He's like, by the way, spell scrolls.
Yeah, I forgot to go over that, but yeah. Yeah.
At this point, Mox is like, let's just do this because it's funny and it's like an interesting thing to do. Mox is like sort of like fidgets a little bit with it and like fidgets with his new armor that's sort of fitting funny. The breastplate of balance. He's like trying to get it to like sit nicely, and he like hits one of those cogs and it turns, and this spell of this like woof, like magical pulse clears out of him as he uses 2 charges and casts lesser restoration on himself. See if anything happens. It might not. I don't care. It's funny that it has it on there. I'm like, let's see what happens.
No, yeah, that's kind of worked out perfect. I would say you go to hit that magic, and Ludo, would you have been pretty much like nearby for this? You would have.
I think so.
Yeah, you would have been overhearing and seeing all of that, and it definitely reminds you of when you had first immediately contracted something from that Moorbounder and the very beginning of this.
I was thinking that. So Ludo would want to jump in and assist if he can by doing some lay on hands.
Oh yeah, how many you putting in?
Let's do 10. This is at least 5 to cure a disease or neutralize a poison.
I'm gonna say with that, between that and the Lesser Restoration, you'll both go to cast that divine magic as he activates the gears on his armor. I'm going to need Mox to roll a charisma saving throw, and I'm telling you the DC has been reduced by 3 because of this.
Let's see, charisma. Yeah, I mean, the -1's going to be great on this charisma saving throw. That's a 5. I rolled a natural 6.
You see, with that, pretty much you were right where you just needed a not lower than that, pretty much.
Not low, not a 5.
Yeah, a 4 lower would have been what
Okay.
you needed because the DC got lowered because you're still at the early enough phases where but you see it took a lot of resources with that to get in there at the earliest stages. Morgen, like you see them between those combined magics. Would you want to throw anything else on it? And any which magic stank?
Let me see what I have prepared today. Actually, I do have my own lesser restoration I could throw at it. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do too.
Yeah, because I was gonna say at that 5 that Mox said, there's gonna be a lingering remnant that was always hiding there. That second restoration, you burn that. You like are looking with your eyes and you're seeing that magic, and you just like kind of notice like the one tiny tendril kind of like creep back in. That would have been like invisible but still there, and you eliminate it at the source. And all of you, like, you feel a wash as your magic all connect to it for that second, and it you just feel sorrow, anger, hatred, torment, a burning passion of those dark, deep feelings try to like succumb all of you. But it's with that little trifecta of magic combined, you're able to get it out before it gets worse.
I'm gonna roll an Arcana check. God, I'm rolling absolute balls at this point. I'll just see if he understood what he just did. And obviously not being magically trained, I mean, having a newfound intellect is still not happening. Like, he's like, okay, so, oh, interesting. This thing has a magical spell in it. I wonder what other spells it has. And now he's like starting to like rotate more gears to find out if he has more spells in it. And he's like, oh, it's magical. I can do other things. And he's still, oh, not that one. Okay. Oh, okay. It's. And he looks at Morgen and Ludo's like, so what was that, a cat that just happened? I was sort of just fidgeting with it, and it sort of pulsed out weirdly. I know it was a spell. I'm smart enough to know that. I just don't know which one.
It appears that it was some sort of healing or restoration spell.
Oh, interesting. So, okay. So I can cast through this thing some sort of restoration. Interesting. That's good to know. I guess I'll have to keep playing with it. And you see him like now he has like tinkering tools out, and he's now like working on the gears, like trying to figure out what else. I mean, I'm sure we know what I mean. He essentially knows what it does, but now it's becoming a game for him because it's like gears, and now I'm playing it as like it's an actual like mechanism that does it because it's more fun that way for me.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. So now he's walking around with things, the tools in his chest plate, trying to figure out what things do.
Tinkering away.
I just wondering if it would work at this point. I didn't know. So I will erase small red rash on hand though.
I'm not getting rid of that.
Yep.
I mean, if it was that easy, man, we should have known that a character ago. Moving on. Sorry.
Ludo knew how to do it because he did it to himself with I think he like.
Just saying, no, but
crit.
a certain character never asked anybody.
Yeah. I don't think we really
in a
knew.
panic.
He left.
It's what he does, man. He leaves.
I feel it.
Yeah, during this hour, Ludo's going to attune to that mentor stone.
Excellent. You all take that hour, and you all begin to head back to the shop to go retrieve the gear. Who wants to roll a luck check for me?
If the luck
We are
wizard was
lucky
here,
guy.
but I think he's gone right now. It's obviously, I mean, I rolled 2 dice that both went under 10, so not me. Although I could have burnt the bad ones.
Mhm.
You want to think I
All right,
burned
I'll
the
do-
bad ones?
All right, you don't want 16,
Oh,
17.
good, our luck
8.
wizard's back.
Yeah, you don't want 16 or higher.
Okay, we're gonna make him.
Luck wizard.
We need a D20 luck check, luck wizard,
You got it.
but you don't want high.
Low. Hey.
Yes.
Thanks for telling me that after I rolled. if you'd said that before I rolled, you don't want to get high, I
Could've
would
been
have rolled a
20.
20.
Yeah.
You know.
I knew it. Hell yeah. You all head to the shop, go to pick up your armor. She says, all right, yeah, any other work? So where are you all headed? I know you're a little dodgy before, but
You just have to do a little bit of work in the desert.
I think that is the look. Is all of us looking at each other, mouths open, kind of like,
Desert, definitely the desert.
all right, desert. Okay, I mean,
You
hey,
need some sand. We can get lots of
I was
sand.
just saying, if you find anything fun out there, always willing to work with interesting materials or trade magical items.
Oh, this will definitely be the first place we come, boy, when we get back. Other than maybe a bar. You understand how it goes.
Ah, yes, the whole long rest, whatever the adventurers like to call it.
I think the long rest is when you fall down and you don't get back up. I think that's the long rest. Anyway, I don't have marked above the board. I don't have marked that I know I have scales and part of some claws, I think, from the blue dragon.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've been back to my friends at the upholstery shop or the fabric shop yet. I believe they were asking for items like that. Or was that the
Monster Hunter Guild also?
The Monster Hunter Guild. The other people wanted an egg.
Yeah, they were just hey, whatever sounds good, whatever is worth valuable. Like, if I find good stuff, bring it back. So pretty much, yeah, you can go to any shop, like even the Sunfire Forge you're just at would be paying well. Like it's, everyone wants to do work with dragons.
I don't like her though.
What did she do?
I don't know. Nothing. I just didn't like her. There's no reason.
I mean, she did talk like Vaxalia, so
yeah, there's no reason. No reason. I know I did some work with the other people. So how far are we from like either the Hunters Guild or from the I don't remember the fabric shop's name. My notes are crap.
Lyrian's Linens, I believe.
Yes.
And that was, I think, the Sigil district.
Sigil,
I'm
yeah, I believe you're right.
double checking. Nope, not there.
Was it the Gilded? No.
There's so many places in this town. The Circlet Walk. So that'd be the south end of the city.
Yeah. How far are we from there?
You're pretty much in the northern end, so it'd probably take like
that
an
sucks.
hour or two to get on the way across the city.
Are we
Depending on
heading-
carting or not.
Were we heading south after this?
You
I think
were.
that was the plan.
Yeah, and I will say as you're heading on that way, you remember Saeryn, that little like drop spot that you had talked with Dio about,
Yeah.
you go to, like snatch that up, and you see a note that pretty much says in like thieves can't, everything is all good with the veil, like all debts paid, and you get a little map of the Marquette area. Show to everyone.
Ooh.
So this is the map we're running off of. I got this off of the Netherdeep Reddit. I'm pretty sure I'll have to find the artist and credit them in the credits, but you were pretty much would have been up north near the Agrad Mountains, is where you had fought Falgura, or talked with her. So you're heading south past Chandel in the Scaldwind Sands.
This is an official Marquette map.
I don't think it's official. I think this was a fan map, so it's probably not actually accurate. Like I think in the real Crtiical Role, the Chandal is north or something of the city, or just something is not quite right. But it's this was like I think from a little while ago before they did like the official campaign 3. But this is what we're using.
Real world.
Yeah,
The real Marquette.
in someone else's version, whoever that may be.
Yeah, I was just like campaign 3. I'm like I'm doing like okay, going from Drusar down to oh there it is. There's Bosphorus. Okay, and then Eos. Okay, yeah. Okay, now it's starting to make sense. I had the alignment all messed up in my head.
Yeah, I think this is fairly accurate because I don't think they've ever done like an official Marquette like continent map yet. But yeah, I found this one. I really liked it, so we're gonna use it.
Yeah, I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I like the assets they used. Looks very natural. But you all have a heading. You have the idea. Was there any other research or stuff? I will say, Morgen, give me a perception check.
Be a 17.
Excellent. I think it's you end up hearing more than seeing anything. It's as you are leaving from the forge and like as you like walk down the street and like head down somewhere else, like you hear like echoing off the cobblestone like many blocks away, like somewhere else, like in the area, just a whatever you say, Gab. And some heavy footfalls heading off in the opposite direction.
So I believe we saw someone from Azazan earlier, and now I believe the other party is here and on Kirel. I could have sworn I heard Maggie talking.
Oh, wow. I wonder how they got here.
Which
I
one was
don't
Maggie
know.
again?
The big
big one.
ogre.
Oh, okay. I was going to guess the little blue-green one.
You have no idea who those people are
No,
besides
no,
that
no,
time you
exactly.
started
I love
shooting at
playing-
them.
I love playing this character. I don't even remember shit.
Hey, first 20 episodes? I don't know.
I don't know. Backstory? What do you want? I mean, do we need to worry about them? Well, I guess we did. I thought we... Didn't someone drop a ceiling on them? A roof? Or a...
Yeah,
Rocks?
Aloysia.
Yeah, the way she did it.
Oh, yeah, money bags.
Yeah,
I
so,
thought I'd like her more because she was the money, but I didn't like her much afterwards.
You don't see. You seem to have like kind of fickle feelings about people that pay you.
Well, it's either you give me money and I like you, or you take money away from me and I don't really like you that much. I like you guys because you help me make money.
Duly noted.
All right, well, let's keep the coin flowing.
All right, you all continue heading your direction.
I mean, do we want to go say hi to them?
No, I think the last time we saw them, they think that we brought a roof down on them.
I'm pretty sure I shot a couple of them.
Also, that
I don't know.
And they were definitely angry with me, too. I'd rather not let our presence be known yet.
I think that's a wise decision.
my vote is we head towards the Fugaras there.
Oh, they're south of here, right?
Yeah, that's what the map says.
On the way out, I think there's a place I need to stop to get some fabric. And he actually says wink wink. He's like, I get some fabric, wink wink.
Subtle, love it. Yeah, let's go stop by the fabric store.
Oh, yeah.
Fabric store.
You all start heading your way on down through. Ludo, you got your moorbounder with you. The rest of you are able to get some like carts or other sorts of transport if you want to help try and like make it a little not as long of a journey across the city. It will cost 10 silver a piece though. A little bit of a higher rate. Ever seems the city's kind of bustling with before like the full noon sun hits.
I will pay the 10 silver.
Excellent. And
Sure, why not?
they make their way through.
See, the problem with that ride was it was a little bumpy, and I didn't like it. So I'll pay him, but again, I don't like him. Again, money thing. It's exchange rates. I don't like. Sorry, I'm gonna
Amazing.
play that a little bit.
To a T. Amazing. You keep heading down. You get to the Lyrian Linens. Ting ting. You head into the store, and Bass and Kovra Lyrian, the twin sisters, half elves, they're like, oh, we got some early customers. What can we help you with? What do you want?
Oh, good morning. I think we need to talk about some. I believe it's Whitestone Green.
Ah, right to the chase. Finally, people who don't suck at subterfuge. Into the back.
No. Well, thank you. Again, I'm going. Again. The Whitestone Green is a very. Never mind. It's Whitestone. Why would it be green? I think it's the same rant he went on the first time he
Yes,
walked in
exactly.
here about how Whitestone shit. It's not green.
She says, so I guess you're not in for residuum then.
No, not really. But I believe last time I was in here, you were asking if there was any. We were heading out to the desert, and you were asking about if there's any dragons or if we found a dragon. And he would pull out. I think it was just. It wasn't a mace. It was scales in.
There's like a couple like talons and some stuff like that.
talons
Yeah.
and stuff that we found that were like not like off them, but like leavings that like in
Mhm.
dragon would find. And I would just pull out those and be like, I found a few things that might be interesting for you, either for obviously coloring purposes.
And she says, wait, holy shit, there's actually a dragon out there?
No, there wasn't. And he like puts it down. He's like, these are just been found. The dragon's gone.
So there was a dragon out there.
No, because I don't want people going out there finding the dragon. Listen, I'm going to give you this shit, and you're going to just take it, and you're going to pay me a little bit of money for it, and then you're going to keep your mouth shut.
Is that an intimidation check?
I do pull my cloak aside and show one of the firearms. So that is that happens to be because of my firearm expert.
I'm like, it didn't sound like persuasion.
No, it was not persuasion. It was an intimidation, but it's at advantage now because I showed them my weapon. Because of much crap. One of my feats allows me to do that.
I was about to say, oh yeah, it's an actual thing.
It's an actual thing that I get to do. But I have a -1 intimidation, so this is not going to go well.
One of your feats has brandish gun as an action.
Yes. It was my first roll. I think it might be my bad.
Whitestone is America.
I will find it, but it is. I'll find it and let you guys know. But it is where I get an advantage on intimidation checks when people see my weapons. It's stupid.
This is the most American feat I've ever heard.
But it doesn't help. I mean, even if it did help, it doesn't help at this point because I rolled a 15 at the beginning of it.
Hey, it still came out of 15, and she says, well, okay, sharpshooter. Now I understand why you're so touchy about the Whitestone Green, and she gives you a wink. So, that's like a small handful of scales, a couple talons that could be used for some alchemical ingredients, maybe a quick potion of blue dragon, some like maybe try and get the components of the lightning breath into it. I could maybe have some like resistance against it, or a tracking potion. Yeah, with the ranger. Well, anyway, how much do you want for this all?
At this point, I'm just happy to take whatever is fair on it. I really don't know what the costing would be on this. So.
Yeah, say about 100 gold pieces per talon. Do you remember how many I said you got? I think there was a roll for it at one point. It might have been.
No, I mean, roll a d6 or d4.
Yeah, roll a d4. 4 talents, all right.
Shit.
So it'd be 400 gold pieces per, and then the scales I can give you maybe about 200 gold pieces.
Total. So was that 800 total?
600 by my math.
Oh, guess your math's better than mine. He sort of just gives her a wink back at this point.
And some of that's for the silence and discretion.
Understandable.
Yeah. Well, while you're here, any of you want any potions?
He'll turn around and he'll. Oh, 600. Why don't things work out well? I will give.
Be by 4, that'd be 150 apiece.
150. Yeah, I give the other everybody on the party 150 gold.
Cute.
I mean, they helped. It would be real crappy if I just been like, "Thank you," and walked away.
I was kind of honestly
150.
waiting for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
they
too.
helped. They helped too. I mean, I probably wouldn't have survived. I wouldn't have survived. I gotta help the party a little bit. I mean, yeah, he made some coin off it, but that's about, that's how it works.
Yeah, she says, if you need any potions for any, type of deeds, any form of resistance potions, I have some for diminution or growth. Do you want to be friends with any animals? Elixirs of health.
When she says that, Mox would look at her and be like, "Now it sounds like you're flirting."
Oh, that's a filter of love.
Oh, no, I'm good. Just being stupid at this point. I think I'm good. Anybody else need anything? And Mox walks out.
Anyone here? She looks at Saeryn. She says, she looks at Morgen. She says, "You look like you like to paint."
Paint. The only thing I've ever painted was things in blood.
Ever considered any marvelous pigments?
Marvelous pigments. What do they do exactly?
Whatever you can draw can kind of come to reality with a certain condition, of course.
I don't think I'm quite in the market for these marvelous paints.
Anyone else? Y'all need any consumables?
I think I'm good. I think I've spent enough money today.
As well.
Excellent. Well,
How much for the health elixirs?
elixir of health. Let's say 100 gold pieces.
Take 3.
Excellent. And just to make sure, this is not a potion of health.
It's not?
D&D elixir of health is when you drink this potion, it cures any disease. It removes blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poison conditions. If you're looking for health potions, mundane, I can do 75 gold pieces for regulars. I think it's 200 gold pieces for better ones.
I'll take 2 of the better ones, then you can hold on to the elixirs of health.
Okay. Trade.
That's 400.
Yeah, that's 2 potions of greater healing. Right, now, if do y'all actually need any dyes or linen?
I love this, like the end. It's like, thank you for buying all my illicit crap. Do you want actual linens or dyes? No?
No, thank you.
Okay, then off with you.
And you guys come out, Mox is sitting there just sort of like kicking sand. He's like, "I like this place. It's a nice establishment. At least they're friendly."
Straight to the point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, all the shopping done, you are getting ready, soon to head south on out of the city. This is probably now good as time as any to take a break.
Sounds good.
Not yet. I haven't heard it yet.
I know. I'm waiting.
I'm not
Waiting
leaving
for
my
it.
seat yet.
Just kidding. Roll initiative. No.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
There it is.
All right.
All right. BRB. right.
Yeah, I was looking, Jack. They took that little blurb off the firearm. It used to say that you could get a bonus on intimidation. They took that off of the firearm specialist.
Oh,
No longer states it. It was there at one point because I remember using it. I remember using it a couple times. I'm like, yeah, I have a gun. I can do this at advantage, and now I don't see it, which is weird.
they're probably like, hey, we probably don't need people being like, hey, I'm strapped.
Yeah.
Do what I say.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I even looked online, and there's people like talking about it, like that's that part of it. You're like, yeah, you get advantage on intimidation rolls, and now I can't find it. Oh well, it didn't help anyway, so I just won't do it again.
It helped.
No, because it was my first roll was the better roll. So.
Hey, you still had advantage.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just one of our rolls we do. You have gun. People don't like gun. Gun's scary.
Still pretty new.
Still pretty new.
Very great. All right. Is that everyone back? Still waiting on. There you are. And then
I
Rain.
told Demna that I took the lucky feat, and he called me a piece of shit. So we got that. I got that going for me.
How'd that go for me?
I mean, you really just need to show him everything else I've given out in this campaign, and he'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you tell him that you're basically a luck wizard that can make people roll whatever they want, whatever you want? And
He's been informed of the fact that this entire build is basically to tell Jasili, hey, no, you didn't roll that. You rolled this instead.
hilariously now, if I'm within 60 feet and I have a reaction, I can negate disadvantage or advantage because this are breastplate of knowledge.
I literally have to burn 4 reactions to land a critical hit now.
Yep.
Good luck.
I know. I there's a lot of things I like about this breastplate. I need to get my strength up now. Find a way to do that.
Yeah, definitely have to look at rules, figure out why all of that is. But
Yeah, it's just because I have low strength.
you are all heading out towards the desert.
I think we're still missing Ludo.
Well, we're still gonna vibe.
Well, tough. Moving on.
Hell yeah. I will say, how is everyone feeling so far? In or out of game?
Oh, it's a shopping episode. They're fun.
I think, yeah. Literally, you guys have never really had the chance. Even in Bazan, even Ludo really only went to the shop like once and didn't really get too much. But yeah, let y'all, let the gears reflect the level.
Yeah, it's fun. It's always fun.
It's always fun in Fundadelphia. But
Now it's time to kill something.
yeah. How are characters feeling about everything?
I mean, Mox always starts out cold, like against the party, but then he's slowly starting to I think he made his statement of, this is, I like you guys because you guys help me make money. And it is at this point his belief, but it's also it's you guys are starting to grow on him a little bit and remind him of his first party in the War of Whitestone. So yeah, that's why he's quiet at times, because he's trying to stay disconnected as much as he can, but it's not working. And everything Morgan just put on chat sounds delicious.
That does sound good. I mean, you have to bring snacks next. You have to bring enough for the class next time. Because that's how
If you
internet
guys live
works.
closer, you could have it. Yeah.
It's just I don't think that's
Off
possible.
to Athens. To Athens, everybody.
Well, so what is everyone's minds as they all start to head down to the southern gates and heading out into the desert? The sun is almost reaching its peak at zenith and noon, you're going to start heading out just a little bit before that. Try and get as much of a head start as possible.
I think Saren's
Ludo
mostly just
would
paranoid.
be- yeah, Ludo's
We
kind
all
of
we all took the same beat.
yeah, Ludo's kind of the same boat, and he's paranoid about the other group being here and what their intentions are, if they are going to be hunting us down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Saren's just paranoid about the fact that they're intentionally approaching a dragon lair that it got kicked out of. So he's not super pumped about that, but better to do that and get the dragon off their backs.
It's like, just think of the good news there, Saeryn. There's no more dragons in there. Bad news, the creature that is in there now kicked a dragon out of it. So, I mean, there's pluses and minuses.
See, when you put it like that, it
sort of
doesn't
is
actually make me feel any better.
I mean, it's comfortable. The first statement makes you feel real comfortable. Hey, look at it this way. It's an abandoned dragon's lair. But the creatures in there now, bad feelings, kicked the dragon out.
Imagine dragons getting kicked out.
I try not to imagine dragons anytime. They're usually enemies. Is that imagine dragons?
Now I want to go finish watching Arcane season 2. What are we doing, guys? Like,
I know. I'm only on episode like 3 or 4. Anyway,
You all continue down. What type of pace would you all be trying to set heading out into the desert? You're looking at the map. In the handouts, y'all can pull up the map as needed, and you could determine that you could probably try and get there by sundown if you try and head at like a faster pace, at potential of having to exert yourself and push through a little harder, but also any potential pitfalls or elemental or environmental hazards. You know, you'd be a little bit less perceptive as you're traveling.
considering that last time we did a trek out into the desert, we got attacked by literal freaking air and also 30 to 50 feral hogs. Let's take maybe we don't need to go too fast. Let's keep our wits about us.
I agree, especially with the hot sun beating down on us. We don't want to expend more energy and get ourselves all worked up.
So you feel at a slower pace, going like more careful and, you know, covering, you know, your back, watching out for any potential dangers and not pushing yourself. You'd probably be able to reach your destination more by nightfall. And then you'd have to, you know, just deal with any potential dangers of what might be out in the deserts at night. But, you know, by the time you get there, you would be a lot, you know, easier.
I think we can make that work.
So too.
All right, so you all head into the desert. Who is going to helm the looking out on the trail? That would probably be a survival, trying to help follow the map, determining the best routes, avoiding any like large dunes to help go around, or any like chasms, pitfalls, quicksand, any monster dens as you're looking out for dust clouds on the horizon or anything overhead.
I have a +5 in survival, but been rolling like absolute garbage. So if anybody has a better than +5,
Now's your time to shine.
no, it's not.
Yeah, I only have
Well-
a 4, so you go for
Well, how about this? What do you think the odds are that we're going to get there, you know, by nightfall? Do we want to go into the lair at night? It seems like maybe we would camp, you know, outside the lair. Would that be acceptable? Are people okay with that?
Kind of think of the same thing. May find some place to stay, and not to necessarily go in there at pitch black.
Yeah, is everyone on board with that?
Yes, but there are advantages to attacking in the dark. We may be able to take whatever's in there by surprise.
I don't know. It's a
I'm
gamble.
going to refer back to item A where it kicked a dragon out of this lair. I'm pretty sure it can see in the dark better than us.
Good point.
And it's probably dark in there anyway.
Yeah. Also, okay, in that case, if we're planning on taking camping out once we get there, not immediately attempting to fight the thing, I'll help you with watching out. Survival. You get a 19, is what I'm getting at. I'm going to use it before 10.
So is it a 19 plus my survival stat?
I was just thinking that. I need to double check it.
To say that on the dice roll is 19.
Yeah.
And then add my.
I think that's how we've been running it lately, because that just
It'd be
seems.
like
Yeah.
So it'd be like a 24.
Okay, yeah, it says you can replace any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check made by you or a creature that you can see with one of these foretelling rolls. You must choose to do so before the roll. You can replace a roll in this way only once per turn. Each roll can only be used once.
So it replaces the roll. So the roll would be a 19 plus 5. So 24. Survival.
Oh yeah. As you all begin heading your way out into the desert, taking your time, being careful, trying to avoid anything. First things first, you all, even as you leave the hustle and bustle of the city, within that first hour, that sun, full zenith, the heat beating down on you, you feel the drench begin to build up. Desert, sand, wastelands in front of you, very little sparse bits of life. There's the occasional, desert little cactus, the few vultures circling overhead. You see a few larger winged creatures. You come across what appear to be large burrow holes, some sort of large desert worms that leave evidence as they come and surface every now and then, hunting some sort of prey, you would imagine. Despite through all of that in that time as you're traveling, you cannot still help but feel eyes on the back of your head, like something is watching you. It's that ever-present feeling that ever since you've come to Ank'Harel, and you always put that up to the city, but now that you're again leaving the city, it's still a feeling that you can't shake. Jackeen just says, "It's freaking me out."
Are you enjoying the desert heat?
Well, it's a little better than the city, but it's fucking creepy still. Feel that?
Those ever-present eyes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I can't shake it.
I suspect it's something we'll have to get used to.
Don't worry, I'll protect you.
Oh, who's a good little bird? I know you will.
I'm the best fucking bird ever.
I love that bird.
I always forget we can't hear the bird, and we're just hearing.
Oh no, y'all can hear the bird.
Oh, it was that canon now.
Yeah, you've always heard the bird. You've always heard birds. You can't hear the bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of
I'm
talking shit.
the crazy person.
Yeah. Yeah. At one point I realized, I'm like, there's too many talking things in this campaign.
I was really waiting for the sword he got that we sold to be a sentient sword that only Saeryn can hear.
Why have you forsaken me? As he pulls away. I have the answer to all of your problems. Wait, no!
You must kill the Council of Taldor.
Yes.
I know everything about the ready mood. What are you doing?
I come from the moon. Anyway, you all had that travel. So I'm going to say this day is going to be split up into quarters until nightfall. With that survival and all that help, I want you all to tell me one by one what happens in each series of this travel. And we'll go ahead and start with Mox.
Oh, perfect. The beginning of it heading south is pretty simple because, we pass the people trying to get in there is, a line of, people that are from the city, but they're trying to get back in with goods and, the things that they pulled from the desert. They might be going out and get some, maybe small vegetation or animals, or just going to go, try to find interesting things and trinkets and, hopes of, treasures out there, which makes it simple to get out through since it's relatively on the flatter side of the desert and
Flatter side of the earth.
The flatter side of the earth, yeah. And we sort of push and everybody sort of gives you the side eye of, okay, people are coming out, maybe it'll be easier to start getting in, but the line just is a little longer and longer. We hear families sort of like quarreling a little bit because the sun's getting hot in the day. Kids sort of crying like, "Mom, I don't want to be out here anymore. I'm gonna go home." And just getting away from the city, and that's when probably when Morgan and Joaquin pick up the sign after we clear all that, and you get into like more open areas, where you don't feel the people around, but you start feeling the eyes in the back of your head, and that's still sort of like at that point of it. But this, as we walk out there, we start seeing the little pockets of the worms coming up and throughout, but it's always on the outside. The main walking path we're taking at this point is still pretty hard packed, and we don't really have to worry about that at this moment.
Yeah, you still see evidence, the hands of Ord that patrol like in the nearby vicinity of the city. Like you could definitely see like the routes and like the prints that they leave behind, like off in the distance near heading back towards the city, the glint of their armor. But now you're realizing you're getting out past that point.
Yeah.
I will say, Saeryn, what does the next bit of the travel look like going into the later afternoon hours?
I think at this point, Saeryn is fully miserable. Is sweating. His fur is damp and matted, and he's just having a real bad time about it. He's panting hard, and he keeps looking at Joaquin and just keeps thinking to himself, Am I sure that the bird is talking? Maybe I've been hallucinating it the whole time. And is basically on the verge of like hallucinating. He's just not meant to do this. He's a city guy. So yeah, Saren's having just a bad time. But he's actively trying to keep up with everybody. It's somewhat falling behind towards the end of the afternoon, just exhausted, overheated, doesn't understand how people are wearing armor and cloaks. Makes no sense to him.
Yeah.
He keeps trying to turn the sun down with the control flames cantrip, and it's not working, and it's driving him mad.
Yeah. See like a haze off in the distance, like maybe like some like form of a mirage or whatever. And then you shake your
Eventually,
head, and it's
yeah,
gone.
he sees the mirage. He's walking, and all of a sudden he's like, "Wait a minute! I'm a wizard. I'm not gonna let a desert take me. I'll take this desert. I'll take it on." And he reaches out, and then like he's about to like grab something in the air, then brings his hand back, flicks some of the sweat off of himself, and uses the shape water cantrip to freeze a chunk of his own sweat. Like, who wants a little bit of this?
Sweatsicle.
Who wants a sweatsicle?
Right?
I heard it has electrolytes.
Amazing.
That's what the body craves.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then at that point, Saeryn, to assist the group, will be like, "Hey, does anybody want me to like cool down their sweat?"
He just walks behind people on the back of their neck, pushes his ice cold sweat on your back, your neck.
Yeah, he gives like a little cantrip. I think at one point you remember the little tip you got from Gearfried, the Dwendalian, and take care of your nethers for a second.
Ah,
You know, he didn't have a bad idea. Then I will say, Ludo, how do this whole thing it takes you up through starting the sundown is starting to happen. And this is going to be like the pre-evening hours getting into dark. And this is like, I think, Ludo, the last push before like the, nightfall.
Yeah.
And how does
so,
this journey look like for everyone? Any encounters you all might have or things you might see or ponder?
Yeah, so I think it's noticeable that the sun is moving through the sky, and the sky is starting to change colors with the dusk approaching. The air's still warm. The desert is pretty much that, just a desert. The only real sound or sign of life is just all of our boots and hooves crunching into the sand as we trudge along. Some of the wind is probably picking up. Some gusts of like sand are stinging our skin.
Mm-hmm.
Our skin's probably a little sunburnt, so it probably stings a little.
Yeah, I was thinking at some point you see some dust clouds off in the distance, some sort of creature, movement, whatever, might be dwelling out in the desert. And with Mox still with that survival and assistance from earlier, you're able to go bend around and avoid that, and you feel not lose too much time. At this point, it is now getting into nightfall, and if you'd be wanting to look for camp, I will say before you get to the full nightfall, as you're passing through at the end of Ludo's journey, you all come across an empty town, ruins, overgrown village, large growths, these like weird, twisted, mutated, bulbous spikes are sticking out of the ground, a large tower, some sort of thing. You would pass through various villages and other small towns, all of them have been empty the whole day, any sort of like desert dwellings, and then you come across this structure. And this on the map, you believe to be used to be Shandal. Now looks deserted.
Ludo's gonna just out of habit at this point cast a divine sense.
Mm-hmm. You flash out your divine power, trying to find any celestial fiend or undead power. You don't feel any of that in the area. It's definitely, as you're looking, this definitely feels more aberrant. And once again, eyes, back of the head. And everyone who might make a perception check.
17.
19.
18.
Saeryn, you have sweat dripping down. You see your the dust in your eye. Yeah,
It froze me eyelids.
Ah!
Oh no, not the dust again. No more dust. I have goggles,
Yeah.
but I froze the goggles. Ah!
I love the thought of him freezing his sweat and then fogging, like misting up out of his own goggles when he tries to do something.
I'm going to give me one of the elixirs of health, which we didn't buy.
Yeah, every time we ask for a perception check in a dusty area, Saren's has been trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just who he is.
There's.
If he's uncomfortable, he can't see anything.
There, yeah, totally distracted by that. All of you still feel like you're being watched still, and then all of you, it's like almost as if like Mox, as you're looking down and you catch a rock, it's like almost as if it like blinks at you. Morgen, you're looking at something, and then like you turn away for a second. When you look back, it looks like the doorway that was like kinda hanging slightly askew in the frame is now like perfectly straight, undamaged. And then when you like look back again, it's back askew, but then like a little trail of like slime. There's like just like slight coating on it. Ludo, as you're feeling out for that divine sense, you're looking at some walls, and then there seems to be like a small like child's doll, and like you go to bend down to pick it up, and then like a bit of dust kicks up in your eye, and you go to blink, and like where your hand was, where you almost felt like you were touching something, it's just gone.
It's not creepy at all.
And you just can't help but how eerily quiet it has all been.
Now, Mox has dealt with a lot of monsters in his monster hunting days. Is any of like what he saw like a rock blink at him?
Mm-hmm.
I think I have an idea. Aaron has an idea what it is, or what these could be. Does Mox have any idea of like what creatures, or if these are creatures,
He
what's
has
going on?
done monster hunting before. Anyone who's proficient in nature may make a check.
Not proficient in nature, weirdly enough.
Should I do that? I'm proficient in that, but I don't think Saeryn sees anything.
Mm-hmm. You can go ahead and assist Mox, so let him. You can make a straight
Okay.
a nature roll, Mox, because also you have the intellect handbend now. So
Yeah.
You know, see if make this work out for me. Well, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Roll 10.
I will say, guesses are always allowed. You've probably definitely heard of this creature before.
Looking down, if he sees literally a rock blink at him, it looks like, has anybody else seen anything weirdly move? Like something that maybe mimics something else? It looks like one thing, but it's really another.
What, like a mimic?
Yes, like a very much like a town of mimics.
You know, I thought that door was giving me funny looks earlier.
I was getting a side eye from a rock.
Say.
So
That sounds crazy. You guys sound crazy. Hold on, let me just like takes off the goggles and starts wiping the inside. Just like, hold on a second. Let me see what I can figure out here. Puts the goggles back on and immediately like frost up. They immediately fog up again. Ah!
I think this is a dangerous area, personally, or we can go touch a door. I mean, I'm very helpful for, seeing something interesting. If we want to fight something, also we can just leave this town as it is and walk away from it.
Still, the eyes are on you.
Ray wants to go touch something, but Ludo avoids violence.
Let me see what I have. I might have something at least I can throw. We're looking at like this like shed thing over here on the left. Are we actually like seeing that thing over there?
Yeah, I'll say that was where like that door kind of like changed.
I actually have crossbow bolts. I was hoping to have like, I got crossbow bolts and crossbow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna load up my crossbow, my my hand crossbow, and just be like, let's just see what happens here. Now that's wooden shack to the left there. It should make, everybody's heard, an arrow hit a shield or a wooden structure, and he just boom fires at it to hit the wooden structure. Do you want me to fire at the wooden structure?
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Oh, let's see what happens. Oh, it's a light crossbow. Let's see what happens with the plus 12.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider the building paralyzed?
A 31 to hit a building. Does a 31 hit a building?
So where are you aiming at on the building?
At this point, a knothole with a 31. I just want to hit it. I want to make sure. I want to listen to see if it makes the thump of wood or the squish of not wood.
You fire and you're waiting. And it's not a thump. It hits it, and it's more of like a squelch. And you're waiting for something, but like it's just sticking out, and there's no movement. Nothing happens. It's just like you're looking at the door, and then like imagine if like it's covered in slime, and then you fired an arrow at it, and that's like that sound it has to make. Like it has to go through like that viscous material as it hits onto the door.
So here it's made a squish sound, like a slime sound, like a very liquidy sound. A sound, from what I could tell. Anybody else hear anything differently? And let's all remember that we're in a place that has zero moisture. That should have made the driest of dry rot sounds.
That's a good point.
I think this headband's working.
You're just
I
like, I
wouldn't
can
tell
stop
people
playing
what I
him
noticed.
dumb. I'm so happy.
Well, no, I liked playing him dumb to a point. He's not wise at all though, but he's like that is definitely I'm gonna say that's a living creature right there that I just hit with a crossbow. Or it is the softest wood ever, but it still made a squishy sound. Hey Saeryn,
Nope.
do you want to go get my crossbow bolt?
Would I ever not want to do that? Honestly, I'm impressed it used a crossbow bolt. We're in a desert. There's got to be rocks.
You'll think, but I mean, I never get to shoot it anymore.
Fair point. You never get to use that thing. Saeryn wants to say, "Send the bird," but he's not going to say that because people like the bird a lot. So he's, and I don't have Find Familiar as a spell. So I think he's going to do the same as, "Hey Ludo, you said you wanted to touch it, right?"
Well, Ray said he wanted to touch it.
Is Saeryn just gaslighting Ludo at this point?
Yes.
Amazing.
I think Ludo would go. Yeah, he'd go grab the bolt. Let's do it.
All right. You walk up slowly. Hairs on the back of your neck are up. You just can't shake that feeling of being washed eyes on you. You steal your strength, pray to Avandra, reach up and grab the bolt. Your hands touch the wood of the bolt. Do you pull it out?
Yep. Let's pull it out.
Squelches off as it comes through. You have to kind of, with forceful, you see it was embedded in the wood pretty firm. Comes out coated in that same slime.
Gross.
A door smacks open in the wind. Nothing happens afterwards.
Well, here's your bolt back, Mox.
I mean, thank you. That was a little less climactic than I thought it would be. I thought that building was going to come alive and try to eat you.
Oh, well, thanks for telling me now.
Well, I didn't tell you to go get it. I just shot it.
Fair.
I mean, I
fair
did say
point.
it's probably a lot. This city seems like it's alive, but
In my defense, I didn't think the house would eat you.
I kind of did. Did you know they can grow big enough, and if they are old enough, mimics that is, they can actually speak common.
Well, you'd think one big enough to be a house would start talking then.
You would think, like, ouch, that really hurt. Don't shoot me.
That was
So-
an odd noise that it made.
This town's
Yes,
fucking
we're not-
creepy.
We're not staying here, right?
Yeah, I don't
We're-
like
we're
this
not
place.
staying.
No, I don't think we're staying here. We'll camp somewhere else.
Well, should we look inside the house?
Absolutely not.
If you guys want me to
the
summon a mimic, I will summon a mimic.
The outside of this house seems creepy enough. Do you want to go inside the house?
I mean, there might be something useful or valuable, and I am now broke.
I will cover you from 60 feet away.
60 feet away.
from a safe distance. If you want to go try, Ludo, I will come closer. And he goes 30 feet away. If you want to go open the
Yeah.
door, go ahead. Okay.
Screw it. Well, the door already blew open.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's an invitation. Anybody
Ludo.
else want to join me?
Oh god, it's beckoning us in there. Well, if you're going Ludo, I'm joining you.
Saeryn, you gonna stay out here with me, with the smart people?
Hold on. I should be doing something about this. Give me a second. Let's see what we got here. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and launch first level spell slot and use detect magic.
30 or foot radius goes up. You're trying to feel for like, if to detect magic, it's like you read those threads of the different schools of magic, and you're trying to find any trace of that. You're not getting anything immediately lighting up. It's the one thing I'll say, you're looking at it, you get a ping from the arrow tip, and at first you're like, oh, that's weird. Why was Mox's fire tip that he like the bolt tip that he fired, was there blood on it? Because you see like a little bit of a red spatter, and then you realize that that's the light up of your detect magic, and you're getting almost a trace of the same element that you would get off of when you've detected Druidium before.
Catching something like the Druidium on a door. You guys are thinking about going inside?
Yes.
Well, hold on. Don't do that just yet. And I pull out my coin of Evandra, or the coin of the Changebringer, and he like holds it in his palm, and he just thinks, "All right, Changebringer. Give me a little insight into what's going on here." And I'm going to use a charge on the coin in order to cast Augury.
Fuck yeah.
Specifically, yeah, I never get to do divination stuff. This is great. Specifically, it says, you receive an omen from an underworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses from the following possible omens: wheel for good results, woe for bad results, wheel and woe for both good and bad results, nothing for results that aren't especially good or bad. The plan is to go inside the house. Is that gonna go good, bad, good and bad, or eh?
So the answer was wheel was good, woe is
wheel's
bad.
good, woe's bad. Mm-hmm.
What do you think each response would feel like to you?
I imagine that wheel would feel like that rush when you're like gambling and like you hit on roulette, and woe would be like busting in blackjack.
Yeah, the worst hand you've ever had, the worst bust, it is the dice are alarm bells in your head of woe.
He nearly drops the coin. All right, okay, we're not going inside. God said don't do that, and I'm gonna put the coin away.
Okay.
I just cast an augury, and Changebringer said, going in there is a bad move. I propose we light it on fire.
Why is that always the wizards first go at it?
I don't
You know what
even
we should
hit
do?
fireball.
We should cast this on fire.
I mean,
I've
it
met a lot
works
of
more often
wizards.
than not.
It really does, especially in monster hunting also. A lot of things don't like fire.
I mean, yeah, the things that like fire, like devils and demons, and how often do you meet them?
It seems more and more likely now that I've been with you guys.
Well, okay, whoa, okay. That's not our fault. I think. Now Saren's upset. For the record, your intelligence is technically higher than mine now.
Is it? I'm at 19.
Yeah, I have
yeah.
18. I have 18. You have 19.
Yeah. I mean, my charisma's still 9 and my wisdom's still 15, but
Hey.
All right. Well, let's light it on fire then. Ludo has a tinder box that he's gonna pull out, unless you guys want to do this magically.
I always up to do it magically, and I'll
Great.
produce flame from
Mhm.
the flame light from the lantern.
Now, how far back do we need to be for this? Does this one explode, or does this one just go poof?
I think this one just goes boof.
Okay. Also, if this, okay.
But yeah, it shouldn't explode. And he'll just casually kind of toss the produced flame over at the building.
You hear the fire begin to slowly build within it as it catches on the dry driftwood. Occasionally you hear bits of hissing as it meets some sort of material, some slime. You're all waiting for some sort of effect or reaction. There's nothing but the silence and eventually like the roof as the house begins to fully catch flame.
Now that we've
Ludo.
burnt down.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to
Go
say,
ahead.
Ludo, you get just a hint of a trace of that breath of your divine sense earlier. You feel what would have possibly been an undead element briefly awaken and then extinguish.
Well, I'm sensing that catching that on fire was a good idea.
Oh, in that case, and I'll use control flames as a cantrip to expand the fire even more. Let's go all out.
It starts burning down.
I'm freezing, burning things. I'm having a day.
Amazing.
I
And
was about to get tortured by my best friend like 24 hours ago. It's Saeryn's having a rough week.
as the flickering flames, as you all leave this creepy, silent, uneerie village behind, and you head towards what you can still only imagine. And I will ask Morgen, as the nightfall fully sets and you are all planning to go and make your camp, what does the last end of this day look like?
I actually wrote this out ahead of time.
Nice.
After the harsh desert sun descends below the horizon, the hot, dry air begins to cool as nightfall is now fully manifest. The party, exhausted with sweat and sand, marches forward through the night. The notion of a cool, dry night smiles brightly across Morgan's face. Travel has ravaged the stamina of the group, and respite is well earned. All eyes are now out for the perfect spot to make camp for the night.
It's so beautiful. You get inspiration.
Nice.
That is really, really well written.
I like it.
Fucking beautiful. And with that, you're looking and you're following at the map, and you have a feeling that there's a small crevice, a crack in the ground that begins to form up ahead, like over yonder, still like a few hundred yards over in the distance, so you still haven't fully approached. You feel like there is a possible good place, a dune, that you could camp out for the night. Go ahead, anyone who wants to make a survival or perception check. Go ahead.
All right, I'll give her a go. 23%.
20 perception. Fuck yeah.
I'm not even rolling.
I love it.
At this point.
Ludo, as you
Take the
begin
thing down.
to scout around and you're looking for a potential place that could be camped out for the night, everything feels eerily open and exposed. Every like burrow and crack that you have all like tried and found, you still can't shake that feeling of something off and odd. Occasionally you see like little bits of like those weird barbed growths, and they're kind of bleeding into a red spectrum. There's still, you haven't, with that 20 perception, you've realized what you haven't seen all day. You haven't seen any creatures, any wildlife. There's been no movement of no threat of creature in this immediate area as you've approached. But with that natural 20 perception, you can find it's almost like half buried underneath a sand dune. You just see like a small divot that you can like brush out of the way, and you see there's like a very small tight cave that's like built into the tight bedrock as where you feel the lair for Fulgura's lair is, your destination. Looking at the map, it's like further ahead south, where the cracks and crevices begin to grow into like hard rock and like deep chasms. But you think you found a very, very tight, out of the way, like almost like a stash spot that like some runners would have used to have, and that's why it was hidden away so aggressively.
Hey guys, I found a very tight stash spot over here.
But that stash spot is tight.
Everybody likes a tight stash spot.
But you all feel like this will be as good, maybe not the most comfortable, but the most safe for the evening if you're trying to camp out.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Get you the tents and roll out the sleeping bags.
All right. You all go to settle down for a long night's rest. In your dreams, that night, as you all settle down, you say your prayers, and there is just one thing that you see. There's all one dream that you share.
I see you.
Red vermilion cascades down, a moon brought to life, visiting you. Tendrils all around as these chasms floating in an infinite dark dream space. Do you all see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's make sure.
Yeah.
As you all see that and have your reactions, you let me know how your dreams feel that night. As you just feel that laughing, and then it goes to pitch black.
Pretty sure this is the worst sleep Saeryn's had in a long time. It is not. He is pitched. He is rolling around a whole bunch. And he just can't stop thinking about a giant eye staring at him from, like, darkness.
After it goes black from Mox's dream, he gets sort of thrown back into the Battle of Whitestone, where he's, firing off shots against, undead and vampires, and as he looks up at the moon as it starts to rise, it just blinks into this ruddy moon, and with the eye in it laughing. And every time he looks down at another vampire and turns his head, the face is not there. It's just this red eye. And he fires off a shot and turns to the next one, and they keep coming in on him. And that's probably when he shakes awake.
For Morgan, this dream is filling her with feelings of unease and discomfort. Maybe not so much fear as in like the dream with Torog, because I feel like that's a little more personal. This is more of like a an uncertainty of what is to come of this. Like she doesn't necessarily understand the gravity of, what she's seeing, just experiencing it as it's being shown to her.
Yeah, I think Ludo's kind of in a similar boat in the dream. He's probably just staring up at the eye, wondering like which deity this is.
I love that so much. But as you all have those fitful dreams tossing and turning, I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Remember, you guys get a +3 now.
Fantastic.
On
That'd be a 10.
All right, and then
That puts me at a 21.
it was 22, and then we need Morgan. Unless D&D Beyond not coming through.
Oh, did I need a wisdom save? Is that
Sorry,
what-
yeah, wisdom save. Sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. I was not paying attention. I'm so.
No, you're good.
I
I love the
25.
slow roll. Hell yeah. These phantasmal monstrosities almost seem to haunt you as you all try and get a good night's sleep. You all manage to escape that unrestfulness, except for Mox. As you wake up, you take 8 points of psychic damage,
Oh.
and you do not get the benefit of any rest.
So 1 level exhaustion.
No.
Oh no.
You just don't
Okay.
gain any benefits from that rest, so you don't get a long rest, basically.
Okay.
Which, I mean, for the fighter is kind of like the best person that could have happened to, honestly.
Honestly, because I really didn't use anything.
Yeah.
The only thing I used was a part of the breastplate, and I actually have to roll a d4 to see.
Yeah, so that's
what
the
charges I
item.
get
The
back.
item didn't have
And I
its
get-
fucking bad dream.
The item didn't. The item had a great night. It wasn't being used for it. I get all the charges back.
Oh, yeah. But you all wake
Yeah,
up
I
in the
mean-
morning with that memory of that haunting dream. But Mox seems to have
What?
be affected a little bit more.
Jasili, what are we on a battle map, Jasili?
I'm just pulling you back. This is what the little place looks like. Yeah.
This is what we found.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering.
I ask you, what do you all do as you wake up in the morning?
Mox is probably the last one up. Like everybody gets up and he's not asleep. He's just laying there, and like when everybody starts moving is when he like actually gets up, looking very haggard and uncomfortable. Just sort of looking around, looking at you guys like he's almost expecting something to come out at him.
Well, that was a rough night. Ugh.
He jumps a little bit and looks at you. He goes, "What? Yeah, it wasn't. It was a little weird. A big eye moon looking down on us. On me,
Well,
at
you
least.
you saw it too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, goody. It's always real good omens when everyone in a group has the same dream about a dark giant red eye.
Gratuitous.
How far away are we from the lair at this point?
You feel like probably like an hour or two travel. Yeah, like maybe an hour. You're very, very close to this lair.
Dope. Because I've got some things we can do when we get there to like try to scout it a bit, but I have to be a lot closer than an hour.
I think Ludo wants to take some time to meditate and pray and think about that dream, and either search through his brain of religious knowledge or ask Avandra if there's some deity, affecting us or watching us or implanting these dreams in us.
Hell yeah. Is it just like a straight prayer? Do you have any ability or anything to burn with it?
I don't think so. I think I was just trying to flavor that a little bit.
Oh yeah, no. Begging out to Avandra. And what's your exact question?
Are we being affected by another deity in the form of this ruinous eye moon that we all dreamt of?
And you hold that prayer on the little coin of Avandra that you have. And it's almost a whisper back that it's no god. But we do fear it.
What was the first part? I kinda cut out.
She says that is no god, but we still fear it.
Thank you, Changebringer.
How does Morgen feel in the morning?
She wakes up not in a panic, but in kind of that, like, what the hell did I just witness kind of thing. And she decides that this morning is a particularly good one to make some kind of tea, something to kind of calm the nerves a little bit. I think to sum up her dreams experience in one word would be unnerving, and she's trying to undo that feeling for herself.
Mm-hmm. Especially, it is really the nature of your trance. The only things that have ever really been able to force dreams upon you has been either yourself or a divine nature through your craft or otherwise. And yeah, this is something entirely different. So you all make your teas. Any preparations? Anything to do? Do you head forward?
I shuffled my spells around a little bit, but otherwise no changes.
Yeah, I am doing the same.
Excellent, yeah.
Somehow I don't think knock is appropriate for the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're polite, it is.
Yeah. What's is good that you saved that wisdom saving throw, because you guys wouldn't have been able to change your fucking spells if you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some bomb rolls all around it. Because even like the fighter, like, all right, he's like, I still got my guns.
Yeah. I mean, as long as I'm not getting like disadvantage on anything, I'm fine.
Yeah. No. Feeling good.
It doesn't get tired. This trigger finger, baby.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. So you all head forward. Slow, uneasy. You can just feel dread creeping down upon you as you head in deeper. You find that crack Bulgaro told you about that you can follow down into the lair. It's I'd say pretty much throughout that hour you're able to get up pretty much to the front of where you're pretty sure the lair is, right outside the entrance. And it's, you see like thick coating of slime and just like things that like look outside you, like your peripheral, and then you go to look at them and it's like not there, like little small trinkets, and all of those uneasy feelings now make a little bit more sense.
All right, as since we've gotten up pretty close to the entrance of the lair, Saeryn's going to have everyone kind of stop, and I am not the buffing kind of wizard, and I really need to fix my spells to do more of that. So sorry about that, everybody, but
You're good.
Did you roll your portent?
I need to roll portents, yeah.
You need those, baby.
But the important thing that Saren's gonna do right now is like stop everyone from entering the cave. And he reaches into his component pouch and pulls out like little strips of fur. And probably no one knows exactly what it is, because Morgen might, because it's bat fur that he like had to like purchase specifically, that was plucked off of the back of a bat. And he takes it and gently places it above, like just above his head in the air, and then releases it, and it's like a shimmering light kind of pops, and then there's nothing there. But I have now cast Arcane Eye at a 4th level, and I am going to send my magical eye down into the lair to see what it can see.
Excellent. As it flies down in, first thing that sees the stone as seems to be more built up architecture, like actual bricks, and it's like hard packed, cracked earth and sand. A scattering of bones leading into this dark and dense tunnel. You see all those like little bits of slime and the little warped, distorted nature of everything. Eventually, and I'm gonna say with the nature of this, if you choose, you can let other people see this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be reporting everything back.
A face worked into stone, an arch carving of lair that looks appropriate for a dragon, sitting in the middle of it. Red, solid ball, just kind of slowly spinning, casting off a red glow, almost like a miniature moon itself. And then its eye opens. And it seems to be looking right at your sensor. And here's that.
Need some Visine.
Well, it's a big bong in
This
front
one's,
of him. That's what
this
he
one's
just hit.
definitely more Sharingan than anything.
Right here. Big dragon bong. Sorry.
I think
I
Saeryn tested
spent
that like
so much time in Photoshop making that. Stop making fun of him.
everyone's a critic.
Yeesh. Yeah. Tough crowd. No respect.
Saren's gonna test the eye by like jostling the arcane eye around a whole bunch to see if it follows.
And it seems to be shooting back and forth. You can go ahead and make a nature check.
God.
Yeah. Nothing to gleam extra out of this besides whatever you feel, but you do see it is feeling and looking right at you. And as it sees you, it's actually where you're at outside the lair. You see like one of the rocks that are on the ground nearby open up and kind of blink open. And I need you to give me a strength saving throw.
Bye, everybody. Is this a spell?
Not a spell, magical effect. Or
Damn.
not magical effect, really. Yeah.
I have advantage on spells.
There you go.
You see a psionic ray kind of shoot out at you and try and grapple you with what is a telekinetic grip to try and like grab you and start pulling you into the lair.
Uh-oh. Hey. Do I save?
Yes, you did save.
Okay.
Sorry. You passed.
All right. Well, there's a giant red eyeball in there.
Hmm.
It can definitely see my sensor, so invisibility is not going to help us. Which you hard countered me immediately after I got rid of knock and took invisibility.
When you say giant red eye, is it the same kind of red eye that we saw in our dreams?
It
Yeah,
has a similar feeling, but you see, like, this physical manifestation is not quite the same.
it's not as big. It's still pretty big though,
Mhm.
but it's not taking up the entire sky. It's only, I would say, 15 by 15 base.
Mhm.
That's pretty substantial. Well,
Do you all go in?
I mean, I suppose we're here. What else are we gonna do?
Mhm.
This feels like something too dangerous to be left out and about. Then I don't know exactly what it's here for, but maybe we can get more information when we're inside. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to go in and fight this thing, or maybe find a way to talk
Well,
to it.
did it have a mouth and ears?
No, it hasn't. I don't know, but in my defense, I don't really need those things for it to at least talk to me.
Mhm.
Well,
I don't know if anyone's actually ever seen me cast Detect Thoughts. I just remembered that. I've subtle spelled it almost every time.
let's give it a shot.
I would like to, before we go in, cast Death Ward upon myself.
And then I need a Saeryn. Excellent. Any other preps? And I'll say, Ludo, you're able to get the layout, so you can all choose where you want to kind of be when you show up inside here.
Yeah,
As you see, it's a
Ludo's gonna
pretty
cast aid on everyone. He gets 5 temporary hit points.
You're able to get 3 people with that, right? So you get everyone else. Perfect.
Yep.
And it's
That
a
increases-
5 maximum hit points increase.
Yeah.
So temporary HP can still
Oh,
be put on top. Yeah.
Gotcha.
We increased our max by 5, as you said.
Yeah. Just make sure, you know,
Yes.
at
Yep.
the end of whatever stuff to decrease that or keep track of it in some other way if you need to adjust it on your sheet.
Whoops, I meant to display that.
Mox,
Excellent.
you know, Morgan casts a spell and Ludo do divine magic, and he just sort of looks at them and he pulls a gun out. You guys ready to go? It's all these like fancy things that happen. Like, hey, I'm gonna help you. And Mox is like, I got this gun. I got this pepper box. Let's go. I guess a giant magical eye. I know what to do. I'll just shoot it.
I'll use my brand new daily augury to ask the Changebringer. So the plan is to go in and try to talk to the giant red eyeball. Good, bad plan? What you think?
It's a long pause as you're waiting for the answer, as if the
CB, you
uncertainty
there?
drags out for across an eternity before the answer whispers back to you. Weal and woe.
All right. Thanks, CB. Talk to you later.
You just talk to the god and we're like, hey, is it okay we talk to this big eye? And it just went, eh.
Well, okay. Would be a nothing kind of response.
That's
Wheel and
true.
woe means this is like,
Good and bad.
yeah, it's like, because I specifically said like try to talk to it. So I'm trying like maybe we don't fight this thing necessarily, but you know,
Yeah, that's a
we'll
good
see.
point.
So do you all approach? Say, as you all walk in, you can put yourself in any order wherever you at. You see it silently
Right about there.
sits and beholds you all as you're watching and coming in, and is silently looking at you all, and you all peer within your head telekinetically.
Why do you come to me? To your nightmare?
I'm gonna ask real fast. I know, Mox, you have rudium on you.
Yep.
Saeryn, you were dealing with the rudium crystals off of that staff as well, right?
But that might be, is that in an extra dimensional place?
About to ask, where did Saeryn put it?
Yeah.
I would have ended up putting it in either the bag of holding or the bag of folding. I don't have the ruidium written down right now, though.
Okay. Yeah, because you were, I think it was you or someone that like tinkered with the staff, right? I'll have to check back and listen, but at very least it looks directly at Mox, and it says,
I smell the curse of the red moon on you.
Not
Carry it with you.
Oh, he thinks about back and it's in his bag, and he like taps the bag and goes, "Yeah, I got some of the red rock in my bag here."
They take it. They cause him pain. They cause my suffering. He came to me in a dream. I was born in a dream under his pain. I feel his sorrow. I feel deep beneath the ruins.
In Alexian?
That is me.
You're Elixian?
That is the name I was born under. But I go by a different name now. First, Eclipse.
and you see 5 eyes, almost like miniature versions of itself, blink into existence around him. One by one. Whoosh. Whoosh. They begin to open up. And as that happens, we're going to roll initiative.
Well, shit.
So, who actually has his amulet?
I think
I
Ludo.
think
Ludo
Ludo
does.
does, yeah.
Yeah, I believe I gave it to Ludo at one point.
Ludo has the jewel. Good to know. Does Ludo
God
have that
damn
on
it,
his
Sarah.
character sheet? An attunement to it?
Don't think I do.
Well, as we all roll your initiative, it's 11:30. Y'all want to get going with this, or wait till the next one?
I mean, I'm
I
good
leave
for
that
about
up to you
30 more
guys.
minutes. If you guys want to go roll, or we can wait.
I'm up for whatever. I am on the struggle bus a little bit, but just tired.
I say, yeah, I am also on the tired end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just wait then.
Let's make it
I
a
vote
nice,
we
fresh
fight the
music.
demigod of redness, fully refreshed.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah,
Begin the session.
Mhm, that's what I was thinking. As
Yep.
the eyes
We love
roll
a
up,
good
initiative
cliffhanger.
pops. Yeah, do it a Dimension
Yeah,
20
let's
style
go.
as a aberrant beholder, a creature that is born out of a dream. What happens when a beholder dreams of another beholder? Another beholder is born. What happens when a beholder dreams of another beholder underneath a red moon?
It really messes up the thrice blessed Elixian.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe this thing is confused.
We will figure that out on the next episode of Call of Netherdeep. I'm sticking with it. Like and subscribe.